Trying to get crazy with this thing. Don't you know I'm loco?
560 WQAM presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk to Neil, dial 567-0560 in Dade and Broward. In other counties, call toll-free 877-785-NEIL or pound 560 on your AT&T and Verizon wireless phones. The opinions expressed by Neil, his guests, or his callers do not represent those of WQAM management, staff, or sponsors. No. Now, The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM.
America loves to watch boobs and butts and boinking.
The following announcement is paid for by Adidas, Nike, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Hanes Underwear.
Yo, what's up? This is LeBron James. Give me a little love. Yeah. Come on, boy. Yeah. I'm a basketball phenom out of Akron, Ohio. Yeah, man. Home of Firestone tires for your car, truck, or SUV. Can I get a little bit of love on the Firestone tires, my brother? Now, the Ohio State Athletic Association has suspended me for the rest of the season. Oh, man! I know, right? And declared me unintelligible or something because I accepted 2 old school sports jerseys.
Oh, come on!
You know what? I don't understand what the hell I done wrong. Unlike most people, I got lots of birthdays during the calendar year. Happy birthday! That's right. You know what? People like to give me things like this here Pepsi Twist. A twist on a great thing. Oh, that's good. Right. All right. Anyway, drink Pepsi. Right. I'm just a normal 18-year-old high school student who just happens to drive a $50,000 Hummer. Mad rims, man. You got mad rims on that thing. Wears a diamond earring the size of a small child's hand. That's right. Look at that thing. Sparkling. K. Jewelers. Because every kiss begins with K. Bling, bling, baby. Right? I don't get the whole big thing, chicken wing. I may still go to college. I got some in the office right here. Check this one. An unnamed school that's nestled in the Bluegrass area.
I got that.
Offers a penthouse apartment, a penthouse pet, and a lifetime subscription to Penthouse Magazine. I see they're offering like a theme package deal. Here's another institution in the heart of the Chapel Hill area, which will go unnamed. Says they be honored to have me. They have boxed up and sent to me a naked Russian woman direct from Russia, which I keep for my own, boy, right? I haven't unpacked it yet, but she's knocking and screaming and whatnot. I have my boy Tyrell here puts it in the garage with my box of Cougarans from an unnamed university closely associated with a Wolverine. Man, that's a heavy box, man. That garage is spilling over. Anyway, I got to get back to class now with my boys. No, we gotta go. I already missed like 3 months so far. Oh, snap, I just spilled my Pepsi Twist on my new Hugo Boss suit. Look at this, I got a little McDonald's special sauce on there. Oh, by the way, come on and party with the Big Mac, where for a limited time you visit one participating McDonald's and buy a Big Mac, you get another one for 35 cents. 35 cents! It's your birthday! It's your Big Mac! It's your birthday! Yeah, peace out.
The proceeding has been paid for by Foot Locker, an unnamed university in the Nutmeg State, and Def Comedy Jam.
Oh, boy. I don't want to hear his name ever again, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What is it with these sports nerds? They get a hold of one guy, and they just become obsessed. Obsessed.
Yeah, he didn't shake hands. He didn't do this. He does that. Ugh. Who cares?
Exactly. If I never heard his name again, it would be too soon. And what kind of a guy's named LeBron anyway? What kind of a name is that?
I'd say it's American.
No, seriously, what kind of a horseball name is LeBron? Do you know anybody else named? Hey, Lebby. I thought Lebby is LeBastard. Isn't that Lebby?
Yeah, but that's his last name.
Yeah, that would be kind of a bad first name, LeBastard. Hey, Lebatard Jones, how you doing? I don't know. I don't get it. Hyman Rath says, don't listen to the big dog often, but whenever he has a single male guest on, he invariably asks them uncomfortable questions about their sex lives. He isn't just concerned with how Drew Rosenschwartz is doing with the ladies. Joe has to be the most sexually frustrated married guy ever, and I know all about the inevitable leg lock that occurs in most relationships. Uncle Neil, you have some lovely lady listeners. Maybe they can explain why they shut it down for no apparent reason. Sometimes I envy you gay guys with all your sex parties. All your sex parties. Oh, yeah. Let me know when the next one is. Maybe Joe Bell will be the pivot man, because he keeps, every day he's emailing. Every day, or texting, emailing, whatever. Leave me alone, Joe. Just go away. Don't go away mad. Just go away. You bother me. which, of course, is his intent, as you know. I'm sitting at my machine losing my ass yesterday at Woodbine, and all of a sudden my BlackBerry goes, bzzz, yeah, like that. And I look, and it's Jolly Joe Bell again. Not calling, thank God, emailing, texting. Tell me about, the numbers came out a day early and you went up quite a bit, but still got a long way to go. But I'll call you tomorrow. We can discuss it, and we can discuss that new studio. The new studio now, you tell me, ain't going to be ready till maybe Monday?
I'm saying Monday at the latest. Could be tomorrow.
At the latest. Which Monday, which month, and which year?
No, they're working on it hard, so, I mean, it should be ready.
Yeah, they're working on it hard, all right. How about the studio?
Yeah, that too. Soon.
The phone,
soon.
No dots.
No.
Oh, well, that not. See, now this is also, the story keeps changing every day.
I got the update today. Basically what he said is that the IT guy that has to take the firewall, poke a hole in it so your phone system could work, would have to redo that whole process again once the new studio is ready, so they're just going to wait to do it all at one time.
No, sure, we wouldn't want to have to do that again.
No.
So that means no phones today, no phones tomorrow, and then on Friday when you're working, no phones Friday.
No, I'll take phones on Friday.
Oh, will you?
Because I have the dots.
Oh, you have the dots there, that's right, and you can control it. You have the control over it as opposed to here, which if I had you punch them up, I have no control.
Right.
Roscoe says, you better know your Steely Dan lyrics, mister, because you sure don't. You sang in a plaintive and sarcastic voice, are we out of gas? Are we out of gas? Sir, the correct lyrics are, is there gas in the car? Yes, there's gas in the car. Perhaps while not poetic genius, it's at least as compelling and artistic as in the year 2525, if man is still alive, if woman can survive. Yeah. Now that song, Suck Large Ones, Jesus, I'm thankful that I never have to be subjected to another Zager and Evans song, he says. I think that song was great in the year 2525.
Okay.
You don't like it?
No.
Zager and Evans in the year, I thought that was a fabulous song. I loved it. As opposed to, is the gas in the car? Yeah, I mean, what difference does it make what the lyrics are? It's just the same pseudo-intellectual claptrap. It's garbage.
I hate Steely Dan.
Oh, despise it. Then he says, sir, in your polls, you should ask which people, songs, movies, etc. that we dislike the most. As spokesperson for your South Florida audience, I can tell you we are much more emotional and passionate about things we hate. Oh, I know that. Bah! I know that. And then this part of this is just tragic. Also, sir, we would appreciate if you'd be more consistent with the types of movies that you say you like and the movies you recommend to us, your appreciative audience. Yeah, I should be more consistent.
About what you like.
That's right. I should like what he wants me to like. You said you won't watch dreary, depressing movies. Well, I don't know about that. Requiem for a Dream was dreary and depressing. You can't get much more depressing than that. I watched it about a half a dozen times. I love that movie. Wouldn't you think that was dreary and depressing?
Yeah, whole drug addiction and...
Oh, everybody was on drugs. Sarah was on drugs, and Jared was on drugs, and the black guy whose name, I don't know what his name was in the movie.
LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron. Yeah, he was on drugs. And, of course, what's her name? Jennifer Connelly.
Ooh,
Marion, she was on drugs.
She's hot.
Big time. She had a real problem. You said you won't watch dreary, depressing movies, yet you constantly recommend and tout Glengarry, Glen Ross. That's dreary and depressing? He says, while that movie is a nice venue for some truly great actors to display their talents, it was a serious bag of downers. You just want to reach for some Thorazine after sitting through it. And in closing, Roscoe says, retire! And then he says, love you, Neil. So he doesn't really mean, retire! Maybe he does. Who knows? Who cares? I didn't think it was a downer at all, Glengarry Glen Ross. In fact, I think it had some of the funniest stuff in history. The scene where Pacino's trying to get rid of the guy, get the guy out of the office who's coming back with his wife, doesn't want to let him buy the property.
Have you made your decision for Christ?
I think it's some funny-ass stuff.
Where did you learn your trade, you idiot? Whoever told you that you could work with men? What you're hired for is to help us. Does that seem clear to you? To help us. To help men who are going out there to try to earn a living. You company man. You fairy.
Is that dreary and depressing?
No.
It's funny dialogue. It's funny stuff. I'm not saying the movie's a comedy, because it's not. Glengarry Glen Ross is one of the fine movies I've seen in a long time. And I not had any complaints from anybody in the audience who said, oh, gee, why'd you recommend that? I wasted 2 hours watching that crap. Everybody likes it. Except you, Roscoe. Okay, here's the poll from yesterday, speaking of everybody like, oh, and then I got those numbers. Wow. It's a good thing we got them a day early so we can regurgitate them.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, did you notice in teens we have a 1.2 share? We don't have any teens listening because they're all in school midday, but nevertheless, that's how good this research is. We never showed up in teens in the summertime we did. And back in the day before Joyce, when we could play the funny cutting-edge stuff, yeah, then we did. But other than that, we don't show up. But now we got a 1.2 share in teens. Do you believe that? No. And the nighttime's got a 3.4. The nighttime, which back when they had the diaries, always had like that for a long, long time. Since Eddie K got blown out. Now all of a sudden they've got a 3.4. And you want to know why?
Why?
Because this panel, as they call it, this panel of losers who they selected for this new deal of theirs, they're sports nerds, a hell of a lot of them. No Neelys in there, not maybe a couple, But generally speaking, sports nerds. And all of a sudden a 3.4. Do you believe we got a 3.4 share in men at night?
No.
Does anybody in the free world believe that? Do you believe we have a 1.3 in this show?
No.
No. But Jolly Joe takes the time to text me at the Woodbine. I'm sitting there minding my own business, losing my ass at a dead machine, man, and all of a sudden, bzz, bzz. And he's threatening to call me again today. Guess what? I will not answer it. If you ever call me again, call Norma, okay? Have a nice chat. The two of you are birds of a feather. You're a match made in purgatory. Do not call me, because you have nothing to impart to me. When somebody tries to validate this new, obviously flawed and being sued all over the country system of Arbitron, and they're trying to make, we have to learn to play the game. We can't play the game because we don't have hardly any Neelys on the panel. Don't you love that term, the panel? See, back in the day you had a chance because in the old days with the diaries, there were 12 weeks to each rating book, and each week there was a different group of people. The diaries were held for 1 week. And then they would, the second week, go to a different group of people and so on for 12 straight weeks. So you had a Chinaman's chance of them finding some of your audience when they turn it over 12 times. Here they're turning it over, for the most part, every 2 years. So we might as well just accept the fact that for 2 years our ratings are going to suck. No matter how much ingenuity Joe Bell comes up with or what he imparts, no matter how compelling his thoughts might be.
O'Neill! Man, do I like that!
Hey, Dad, why is gas so expensive?
Well, son, aren't you a little young to be, gas prices. Oh, boy, this is hard. Are you sure I can't tell you where babies come from instead? Like, first you get a woman drunk. That should make it easier to get her naked.
But I want to know why gas is so expensive.
And then there's the role-playing to help keep the
Don't be embarrassed to talk to your kids about rising fuel prices. Trust us. They'll listen.
And you can't wear a rubber, right? Because how else would you impregnate them?
Dad!
You know what? It's probably best to explain a woman's cycle first. Yeah, why don't we start with that? Let's start with the menstruation.
10:17 at 560 WQAM. Happy Wednesday to you. Our new studio is going to be ready one of these days. Then we'll be able to take phone calls, and the dump might work. Somebody said that Dan LeBastard. Where's that email? I'll find it here somewhere. Oh, yeah. LeBastard said the F word on there yesterday. Let's see what happens to him, it says.
Ooh.
Do you believe that?
Maybe. Why not?
Boy, it seems to be going around, doesn't it? But at any rate, here's the poll final tally from yesterday. This should take us up till midnight. Now, the one 7 years ago, July 1, 2002, the top three, the top two were the same. And then I noticed the final tally here, they're all switched around, which is good. What's the point of taking the same poll 7 years later and getting the same result? We had a lot more votes this time. We had 852 the first time, 970 this time. Isn't that amazing, since we allegedly lost 99% of our audience?
Yeah.
Wall of Doo-Doo, Mexican radio. Had 97 votes the first time, 86 votes this time. Number one. Never heard it. Well, you played it yesterday. It sucks. Climax and Precious and Few was second with 49. Had 75 votes the first time, only 49 now. So it was a big runaway with Wall of Voodoo and Mexican radio. Norman Greenbaum, which wasn't even on the poll the first time, third, Spirit in the Sky, 47. You talk about depressing and morbid.
Yeah, and we added that late yesterday, too.
Yes, Norman Greenbaum, 47 votes. They just like the name. They think he's Jewish. But it seems to me he was born Jewish and then he was like a born-again nut. I don't know. Strange guy. Blues Image, Ride, Captain Ride, 41. Soft Cell, Tainted Love, also another late edition, 39. Should I read all of these? There's like 5,000 songs that they put on here.
No, maybe the top 10.
Get out of here. How about the double-digit ones?
Okay.
Top 10 won't kill enough good time.
Oh.
Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive. That was a very late edition, got 38. The Knack, My Sharona, 36. Alicia Bridges, I Love the Nightlife, 36. Dexy's Midnight Runners, Come On Eileen, 35. Ace, How Long Has This Been Going On, 35. Bobby Day, Rockin' Robin, 33. Tony Basil and Mickey, Hey Mickey, Mickey, that song just absolutely blows. Sucks. It blows chunks, 32. For Mickey, Mickey, You're So Fine. The Toadies in Possum Kingdom, that was your edition, 28, did well. Anita Ward, Ring My Bell, 27. Silhouettes, Get a Job, 27. Bow Wow Wow, I Want Candy, 26. The 5-man electrical band, Signs, 24. It says electric band. What?
That's good. That's a good song.
It's not a good song, it's a great song. It's an outstanding song. Digital Planets, Rebirth of Slick, Cool Like That, 23. That's not my music. I just don't get it. That's like LeBron, you know. Shinehead O'Connor, Nothing Compares to You, 19. Modern English, I Melt With You, 18. Nothing like a good patty melt, you know, with onions and cheese. Oh, God. Waitresses, I Know What Boys Want, 18. Undisputed Truth, Smiling Faces Sometimes, 16. Brandy and Looking Glass, 14. Gene Knight, Mr. Big Stuff, 14. Saigon Kick, Love Is On the Way, 14. You said they're from Fort Lauderdale.
That's true.
Still don't care. Mazzy Star, Fade Into You, 13. Laurie London, He's Got the Whole World in His Hands, 13. The Weather Girls, It's Raining Men, 12, and they all look just like Tom Brady. Dan Lear's One Summer Night, 12. Green Jelly, Three Little Pigs, 11. I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It sucks.
Oh. Blur, Song 2, 10. Biz Markie, Just a Friend, 10. I'm Your Friend. And that's all the double-digit ones, and there's a whole bunch of other ones. The ones that didn't get any, Free Movement, I found someone of my own, and Joe Public, Live and Learn, got 0. The big...
Oh!
He'll be on it, too, by the way, the big...
Rock solid.
Oh. Then we got Mad Dog 4-7 in the studio. Dolphin Night 7-8, where they got that highly touted 3.4 share at night, allegedly, in this latest bogus sampling.
Are you
How can
sure?
they have a 0? Huh?
Are you sure? A 3-something?
3.4. We had 3s for all the sports segments, and we had a 1.3. Which goes to show you, like I told your good buddy Fat Ass Jolly Joe when we discussed this a couple of weeks ago, when this stuff all started, the panel has got a lot of sports nerds, which is why at 10 o'clock, a lot of Joe's audience goes across the street, allegedly, and they don't have Neelys in this panel. And we're stuck with them for 2 years. So just get used to it, Joe, okay? Don't be giving me a song to dance. I'm going to call you and we can discuss this. We really have nothing to discuss. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to know from you. I don't want to smell you. Okay? Just go the hell away. He's going to teach me how to do a talk show, Joe Bell.
Okay.
How to be compelling.
Right.
He is, I hate to say it, but he's a real serious ass clown. I don't hate to say it, but I just, that was like a disclaimer.
Sure.
Man's relationship with dog moves beyond petting, says the sheriff. There's a picture of this guy from Spotsylvania County in Virginia. And Scott, who sent this in, says, does this guy look like Hyman Roth? Not even a little bit. Not even a tiny little bit. He's got 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and a bald head. I guess in that respect, he looks just like Hyman Roth. The listeners, some of you folks out there need some very serious assistance. You think I'm right?
Yes.
I don't get it. I mean, this guy looks about as much like Hyman Roth as I look like Hyman Roth. In other words...
This is the business we've chosen.
I've got a Hyman Roth obsession. Not as much as the sports nerds have got a LeBron obsession. I mean, Joe gets obsessed with that. He must have a man crush on LeBron, just like the one he's got on Roger Federer.
Don't you mean fag crush?
A fag crush, yeah. Well, he's obsessed with Roger Federer. I'll tell you one thing. Your taste in men is really bad, Joe. Let me tell you. Roger Federer is ugly as a pile of elephant dung. He is gross. And he's just an all-around annoying guy, too. I don't know. What's there to like about him? John Ward is accused of crossing the line with a family dog in Spotsylvania, Virginia. A man's family turned him into police after he admitted to fooling around with the family dog. Fooling around. Oh, my God. Robert John Ward, 66, see? My age.
Wow.
Was arrested yesterday for alleged bestiality. Deputies began investigating Ward after a family member called authorities with the allegation. Ward admitted to a deputy he had touched the dog inappropriately and that he'd had the dog perform sexual acts on him, according to the sheriff's orifice. Oh. A vet examined the dog, found that her anal glands were swollen, the sheriff's office said.
Oh, my
God. Her anal
God.
glands were swollen. The accusing relative said the dog had been acting strange for several weeks.
I bet.
Ward's being held without bond at the Rappahannock Regional Jail. Rappahannock and Spotsylvania. Some strange names in Virginia. I've been to Richmond once many, many years ago. I've driven through there a couple of times, I guess, up 95. But I've never really, hung out in Virginia.
Mm-mm.
Have you?
Nope.
I mean, if I had to pick a bunch of places where I really would want to, spend some quality time, that would be one of the last is Virginia.
But it's for lovers.
Is it really?
Well, that's what they say.
They have those wild gay sex parties that Schmendrick was talking about?
I guess.
Steve, your longtime listener, says, I've been out of the country, unable to listen to you for about 3 years. I had a vacation to somewhere and so forth. Well, this is chopped off really bad. What happened to George? Fired. Budgetary cuts. Fired. Outrageous behavior by Joe Bell and Jolly Joe and Joyce or whatever her name is. Says, I'm on my way to Germany, looking forward. Any suggestions where to go? I'll be close to Italy and Spain. I'm thinking Italy is my first trip. Yeah, well, Rome isn't close to Germany, but nevertheless, it's worth going on down there. Trust me. Or go to Milan. The food is crap and the city is crap. But go to Milano. You won't like it. See, in northern Italy, they eat a lot of risotto, which I don't know about you, but I hate risotto. They use butter in the cooking. And in southern Italy, they use olive oil. Which is another reason why in the movie Godfather 3, Eli Wallach, I realize he didn't write the dialogue, but that thing where the assassin, and the donkey imitating son, they're having their big meeting,
Mm-hmm.
And the assassin is feeding Eli Wallach lunch, whatever. And he's eating the bread. Che pane, che pane. And then he smears on some olive oil, which is very common in southern Italy, and I'm sure in Sicilia.
Mm-hmm.
And he acts like, it's a bit, olio oliva, like it's a surprise there's olive oil on the table to dip the bread in. I mean, that would be like saying, spaghetti sauce. It's just ridiculous. Whoever wrote the dialogue for Godfather 3 ought to be on death row, along with Sofia Coppola and especially Eli Wallach. Force feed him the cannolis, please.
Grab my junior, honey.
If you want to see that, Action News is where it's at. Dave Gaines. He weighs 500 pounds, he's a mile around. Dave Gaines. He'll eat pie, pork fried rice, and plantain. Dave Gaines. He's a traveler with no hitch. He's twice the size of Fat Rich. Dave Gaines. And with all of that girth, he really shakes the earth. Dave Gaines. Fat is fat, it's just that in a name.
Oh!
Dave Gaines.
This is Diana Morgan. We're taking you now to a special report from Dave Gaines. All-you-can-eat buffets. Are they as advertised? Dave?
Thank you, Diana. We're here at the local Sizzler, and have gone undercover.
Dave, undercover?
That's right, undercover. I'm approaching the all-you-can-eat salad bar for the 7th time.
Sir, don't you think you've had enough?
I thought this was a buffet.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, but nothing.
If you want to see huge, turn to 6 Action News. Dave Gaines. Yeah, he's 10 feet wide. He's even bigger than Jeff High. Dave Gaines. Kentucky Fried Pizza Pie with no size. Dave Gaines.
Okay, that's it. You've eaten almost everything.
Wait a
You're
minute.
out of here. Let's go.
I'm not done. I haven't had dessert. I'm not done. I'll pull out sunshine.
Shame on you.
Dow's down 98 points. Not a really auspicatory start. 10:33 at 560 WQAM. In fact, wasn't that a line in the movie Network when they were talking about the Howard Beale show debuting it and not getting an auspicatory start?
I think so.
In other words, no Hispanics were watching. So here's somebody, Ricky says the phrase is Vermont is for lovers. Sorry, Flea, you missed that one. Keep up the good work. Not Virginia. Vermont is for lovers.
I've seen Virginia ones, too. Virginia Beach is for lovers.
Vermont.
Okay.
Says Ricky. I don't know.
Doesn't matter. I'm not going to either one of them.
Well, Vermont's not bad, I guess. I don't know. I've never been there either.
No.
I've been through Virginia, and I was in Richmond once. Maybe I stopped at like a IHOP or something. I don't know. When you're driving up and down the highway, I-95, or like the Florida Turnpike, any one of those highways, there always are a zillion rest stops and fast food joints.
Waffle House.
Oh, yeah, lots of Waffle Houses, lots of Mickey D's, lots of Burger King, lots of Wendy's, lots of Kentucky Fried. And occasionally, if you're driving like in the right places, you get a Hardee's. I'm not sure which I want to do next, these numbers. Although Jolly Joe said that it's not compelling to do the weekly numbers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he told me the other day. Oh, yeah, it's not compelling radio. You know what? It compels me to tell you blow it out your ass, okay? Get your nose out of this show. You've done enough damage already. You and Joyce have teamed up to do irreparable damage the last 3 years. Just go away. Norman Greenbaum, born in November 20th, 1942. Wow. I'm 15 days older than him. He was born in Malden, Mass. Singer-songwriter. He studied music at Boston University. He's best known for his song Spirit in the Sky, which sold 2 million copies in 1969 and 70. The disc sold over 1 million by May 1970 alone and received a gold disc awarded by the RIAA, the Record Industry Association of America, whatever that is. The song, with its combination of heavy guitar, hand-clapping, and spiritual lyrics, was a one-hit wonder. Well, thank God. The song has been used in many films, ads, and TV shows. Greenbaum is notable for the rare achievement of having recorded 2 one-hit wonders. In 1968, under the name Dr. West's Medicine Show and Junk Band, he recorded the novelty hit The Eggplant That Ate Chicago. You knew that?
No.
Well, there you go. What an educational and compelling show this is, man. Greenbaum had a second song in the charts in 1970, Canned Ham. It reached number 26 in Canada, number 46 in the USA. His last chart hit in America was California Earthquake, which got up to number 93 in 71. It's not much of a hit if it gets up to number 93 on the Billboard 100. In 1971, Greenbaum used Crossfire as a backing band in 73-74, which included Mitchell Froom and Gary Pill, P-I-H-L. Pile?
Okay.
Whoever that is. Another group, Doctor and the Medics, became a one-hit wonder of sorts with their version of Spirit in the Sky in 86. They had a minor hit with a follow-up, Burn, and a hit album, Laughing at the Pieces. And the British TV stars, the Kumars, also became one-hit wonders in the UK when they reached number 1 with Gareth Gates with the same song in 2003. Also in 1986, an all-girl punk band called Fuzzbox had a hit with the song as well, Spirit in the Sky. Interestingly, although his one hit, Spirit in the Sky, is considered by many to be a Jesus rock song with a heavily Christian theme, Greenbaum was and still is a practicing Jew. See, I was wrong about that. He was inspired to write the song after observing country singers Dolly Parton and Porter Wagoner singing a religious song on TV. Wow. Greenbaum lives in Petaluma, California. He no longer performs in public, continues to promote concerts, and lives off the royalties from his songs. His song, Spirit in the Sky, is featured on the video game Rock Band 2. Maybe a little bit too much information, huh?
Could be.
About Norman Greenbaum. They've also got an interview with Norman Greenbaum. Maybe I can read that. I don't think so. Not good. We're going to take calls starting next week. And interestingly, you were telling tales about how you got those 2 lunatics nailed to the wall.
I think so.
Do you?
I'm hoping.
Well, don't give up the info.
No.
Here's one that says, always thought Spirit in the Sky was a goof, especially after the follow-up Canned Ham. According to Wiki, Norm is still a practicing Jew. Yeah, I just read it. That's from The Whistler. Let's take a look at today's poll. It's another oldie I brought back. I'm bringing back all the oldies, because I'm not getting anything inspirational new from the audience. 181 votes on this poll. What is your recreational drug of choice? We need to add to there none.
Okay, I'll do that.
Now, we could put on there sugar. That was down 94. By the way, whoever's sending it is Manny Munoz. Forget about sending me any more fake Jimmy Syphilis emails. I'm not wasting my time with them. I'm not wasting my time. You think that's a bad move? I think it's a really smart move. Because they are not the least bit compelling. Well, here's somebody sent me this. Northern versus Southern Italian cuisine. Well, maybe if I have a lot of time, I'll get to that. Okay, none. Did you add that onto our thing here?
I did.
And what about sugar? Do you want to add that as a drug of choice?
Sure, if you want.
It's addictive.
So is caffeine.
Classify it. Huh?
So is caffeine.
You want to put caffeine?
Nah, not really.
Well, then don't put sugar. It's not a drug. Although it's certainly as powerfully addictive as any drug.
Oh, yeah.
What's your recreational drug of choice? 183 votes. Alcohol, 95. Marijuana, 59. Other, prescription, designer, etc., 17. Cocaine, 5. Crystal meth, 2. Heroin, 2. None, 1. Acid, 1. Ecstasy, 1. And, of course, when I recommend those bad movies like Glengarry, Glen Ross, they start popping the Thorazine, you know. That was one of the most idiotic piles of crap. Yeah, if I'd be more consistent with my movie recommendations. Oh, God, the pain. The pain is so great. Throw me my pills, please.
Bill Rogers got
560, behind the scene.
Ho-ho! Gentlemen, as you know, there's a new rating system that we're not allowed to talk about. And here to talk about it is People Meter Mo from the new Pee-Pee Poopy Compo rating system. Now see here, this new rating system we got here is floorless. Why, we can dream up any number to the highest bidders.
Now let me ask you a question, okay?
Okay.
Because I know Clarence is on vacation, he's on his honeymoon.
Right.
But that bit was obviously not cleared by anybody?
I don't think so.
Oh. Well, in other words, I'm not playing it.
Okay.
Not that I have any problem with it, but it's just, you know. These people are all over the place, you know. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm starting to.
Yeah, you're starting to catch on. All over the place. Michael says, I was very happy to hear you speculate last week that Sid Rosenberg might take over afternoons at 560. You are right. Sid definitely has a big New York mouth, but he also books big-time guests and does a passionate, quirky show. Yeah, he did a really big number over there in the morning. Not. I would be thrilled if Sid got Baca on the air. The only strange thing would be tuning into more than one 560 program per day. And by the way, LeBastard said the F word on the air yesterday, so we'll see what happens then. This is the guy that gave me the spy report, who obviously listens over there a substantial part of the day. Over there.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't across the street. I can't believe that last bit. I just, you know, everywhere I turn, everywhere I look, it's like all this stuff is blurting and squirting and just, I don't know. Now, I don't know about these, the second week of May, May 7th to May 13th. That's the latest Arbitron crap that we got yesterday.
Right.
The Coast is still kicking ass. They're number 2 in the morning. And number 1 continues to be big. Paul and Ron, 8.7 share, baby. Of course, they also did 8.7 in midday. Big, the Coast, background stuff. WMIA had a 7.2 share in the morning. 5.8 in the midday, etc. Anything else of interest? What about Bubba the Love Spork?
I didn't look.
Oh, you didn't look WHDR? Oh, we don't have the 18 to 34 men. I don't. Do you?
I can get them, yeah.
Well, maybe you might want to take a peek at that, because that's his demo. Because in the morning, they only had a 2.1 share in men 25-54. Paul and Old Ron had an 8.7, and he had a 2.1. Which is interesting, because the rest of the day parts on HDR, like an afternoon drive, they had a 4.6, and at night they had a 6.3, according to this horseball system. Well, the panel, it's the panel, you know, this is the panel we got, and the panel my ass. WQAM. 3.8 share in the morning. This is men 25-54. We went from a 0.4 in the last one to a 1.3, more than tripled. And still nobody in the free world believes that number. Afternoons, Mad Dog went to a 3.3, which I think he beat out the goofball across the street. LeBastard.
It looks like all I have is persons 18 to 34.
Let's see. Across the street, they had a 2.9. Mandich had a 3.3, so we beat them. Well, we actually beat them, 1.3 to a 1. Oh! Is there anybody who believes these numbers other than Joe Bell, who says, I didn't say I believe them, but this is what we have to live with. It's here, it's here. Yeah, you're here too. We got to live with you. That's the really sad part. Nighttime, 3.4 we've got in men. Is there anybody in the history of the human race who would believe that, including DA? Now let's see about IOD. Because I'm sure that Manny and Jimmy are sitting over there on each other's laps, squeezing and hugging. Are they on this list at all, or did you not? I don't know.
I didn't send you all of the pages because it was taking so long.
Here they be, WIOD. In mornings, they had a 4.8. Middays, that's Rush, 5.4. Afternoon, that's your buddy Schmidt, 5.8. And then at night, 3.6. WIOD. What about INZ with their sports nerd crap? Are they making any impact at all? The 50th Sports Nerd. Oh, in the morning they've got a... Look at that. Let me double check and make sure I've got the right number here. See, unless you're on the right page. Page 5 of 9. I need to get page... Oh, you didn't send them all.
No, it was taking way too long, but I can if you want.
No, that's okay. Who cares about another sports nerd station? Oh, here it is. Average weekly QM in the morning is a 0. So I guess the share couldn't have been too much. I can't find the other page. I don't have page 6. Have you got page 6?
Yeah.
And at the top, what does it say for the share in the morning?
4.5.
Get out of here. How could they have an average weekly QM of 0 and they've got a 4.5 in the morning share?
I don't know. It keeps locking up on me, so I was probably reading the wrong thing.
Yeah, I think you're reading the wrong thing. Oh, you don't have it in print. You have it on your computer. Is that it? That's okay. Nobody is going to have a nervous crap about the INZ.
Wait, I think I got it.
You got it?
I think so.
It's got to be
INZ. Let me see.
Yeah.
Page 5 of 9. Page... I need 6 of 9. Where is that? This is compelling.
No, this is not compelling. This is coma-inducing.
Share would have been a 0.3.
Wow.
Yep.
Even we did better than that. Okay, the fake Lassiter says, how could that young punk Flea hate Steely Dan, one of the best bands of all time? You keep running off the older listeners along with Hank Ed Kaplan and Ken Malden. No one gives a crap about the young punks. They have no soul. Why is WIOD and Fox News getting all the ratings? Is the country moving to the right again? No, Blabo, you better check the election results from November, okay? The country is not moving to the right. Because those people, they vote with their viewing and their listening. They're like the religionists. Same crap, you know. The right-wingers, it is a religion to them, and they listen nonstop, 24/7, round the clock. Barry says, thanks for introducing me to the movie Requiem for a Dream via the music and then the film which you so correctly talked up. Agezund auf ja ach. Ich. What does that mean? Agezund auf ich. When they start hitting me with Yiddish that even I don't understand, then I know I'm in big trouble. Do you understand that? Well, you don't.
It sounds more German to me. I don't know.
No, it's not German. It's a Yiddish. It sounds more German. Boy, what you know about Yiddish, man, I could stick in the thimble and have room for Joyce's ass left over.
Pretty much.
You've got to be kidding me. Here's one that says, hey, Uncle Neil, I missed the hell out of George, but Flea is doing a good job. When the summer schedule starts, though, I'll start drinking, says Ed.
Me too.
Oh, poor Ed. Ed is so chronic. Hey, Ed, what are you trying to tell us?
I have no life.
Get a life. Philip says, you guys left out the obvious winner in yesterday's poll, Aha's Take on Me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. I wonder if John Levitt recorded that. Uh-huh. Also, I'm a 28-year-old male who's listened religiously ever since my biological father, as opposed to Catholic father, turned me on to you. At the time, you just developed your fag crush on Enrique Iglesias and played great bits like Sofa King and Star Trek Vulcan bit. Both were awesome, and both shall be missed greatly. They really want to stick it to you, Gramps, and I would let him F. Joe Smell and watch out for the flea. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the one responsible for your mishap and George's departure. He is Joe's close personal ass licker and all. Take care and Neil bless, says Evil Al. And Evil Al doesn't trust you.
No.
I'm sure you're very distraught about it.
Yeah, I think I'll sleep okay tonight.
Will you? I will, too, if I don't get that stupid phone call. Oh, I'll call you tomorrow. No, you won't. Percy in Miami Lakes says, Neil, the numbskull who did not like you recommending Glengarry Glen Ross has absolutely no taste in movies. The Alec Baldwin speech at the beginning of the movie has to be one of the most compelling scenes in American cinematography. How do you like that? It's compelling. Not just good. Oh, the fake Johnny Dolan sends me a thing very boring about getting drugs out of a vending machine. Here's one, says, I like sniffing glue, not on the pool unless my glue sniffing has caused me to miss it. Yeah, you want to put sniffing glue on there? I had one other one say that.
Yeah, we could also add huffing gas. I know the kids do that.
Huffing gas?
Yeah.
Oh, my, it depends on what kind of gas it is, I guess. Pretty expensive to be huffing gas these days, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Neil, if this deal to sell the Panthers goes through, you'll be able to buy stock in the Panthers in the public stock market. Actually, you can already buy shares in the company that's proposing to buy the team, although they haven't completed it. Well, why do I want to buy stock? What do I want to do with that? Although it's a good thing Alan Cohen is getting out of it, because he has just demolished that franchise. He has just butchered it. Right on down the line. Butchered. Nice going, Alan. The Dow's down 75 points. Oh, and there's Obama with the King Saud, King Faud, Abdul Aziz, Saudi Arabia. Thank you, Mr. President, for those low gas prices, by the way, and the weak American dollar, not. I noticed that Obama doesn't hold hands with the Saudis like his predecessor did. Remember that?
Yeah.
Bandar Bush, holding hands, drinking fine wine, smoking big fat stogies up on the White House balcony. I think the Saudi king is talking in Yiddish. He says, what kind of a president is this, a skinny Schwarzer? What is that? He says, isn't he from the NBA? I wonder if LeBron knows the president, do you think?
Maybe.
Because pretty soon I think that's going to be the new format. All LeBron all the time. Going to put that Jimmy and Danny to shame.
Oh, Neil! You're listening to Neil Rogers.
Well, here we go again.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
Dude, let's talk about an 18-year-old who wants to transfer out of the U. That's not right, man. Being sport holes makes it our business to pry into a family's decision on how to raise their kids, right?
Yeah, dude.
Sure. Sports is too hard for you? Man up, bitch. Like all you sissies who don't want Michael Vick to play again. So what, he killed a few dogs. What's that got to do with sports, man? He's a great athlete, and not to mention makes great vapor rub, too.
Absolutely. I agree with everything you say.
I mean, like, Hitler could really dance a good polka, man. I mean, he could have been on Dancing with the Stars, dude.
Sure.
Tim McVeigh, he was a huge baseball fan, and he could have had a show right here.
Oh, yeah.
You see that guy in Leavenworth?
No.
He would eat the brains out of his victims, dude.
Cool.
I love those guys. That's just the kind of competitive spirit we need in sports.
I absolutely agree with everything you say.
If they have the ability to play football, if they have the ability to play baseball, if they have the ability to play basketball, I say man up, bitch. Let them play, dude. Yeah, I'm kidding, just kidding. No, that's really my view. Neil's up next. Or maybe not. Who cares? What's this show got to do with sports?
Yeah, good point. 11:01 at 560 WQAM. Dow's down 75 points. Anybody care?
No.
Anybody got any stock, any money?
No.
If you do, send it to us. We can use it. I'll take it to Woodbine and triple it for you, guaranteed. Or maybe not guaranteed, but I'll give it my best shot. Robert from Seattle says, I listened to your archives and heard you rant and rave about Doubt and The Neighbor, so I decided to watch both of them. I thought that Doubt was a great movie with great performances by all the actors involved. As for the title of the movie, I must say I don't have any doubt about the father's actions and history at prior schools. What removed all doubt is the call that the Mother Superior said she made to his last school. If he was innocent, why did he leave his position at the school? You agree with that?
I couldn't quite figure that part out, why he left. Did she rat him out a little bit and he just left because they wanted to get him out of there, or did he leave on his own?
Who knows?
Right.
One actor should get mentioned is the actress Viola Davis, who played the black boy's mother. Everybody agrees with that. Her performance with Meryl Streep as they were walking together was excellent. I especially remember when she kept saying it was only until he graduated in June. Yeah. As for The Neighbor, I didn't care for it at all and didn't see it all the way through. Jesus, are you kidding me? That is just amazing to me. I think that Lee, as your official sidekick producer, should get an email address on the Neil Rogers webpage, so when he does the summer shows, we can email him with comments and material. Also, Lee, on your summer shows, please don't have the Derby Girls or Lucy Lopez on.
No Derby Girls.
And what about Lucy Lopez?
Nah, she's downstairs now, so.
So what?
So she won't make it up here.
She won't? In other words, you don't want her on the show. Why don't you just come out and say it? Don't give me that she's downstairs. If you wanted her on, she'd come waddling up the stairs, I'm sure. But you don't want her on, right?
And I don't think she waddles.
Well, whatever she does. Scurry up the stairs.
Scurry's probably better, yeah.
Maybe in the old days she would scurry with Kid Curry. Remember, did you know Kid Curry?
I did.
He was a good guy, and then he vanished under very bizarre circumstances. He just, one day he was there, and the next day he was not. But you know this business. That's the way it works. One day you're there, and the next day, I don't know what happened to him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and don't forget, you wanted to mention the High Life Cafe event happening today?
Oh,
tonight?
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. And maybe I'll find it. Let's see. Here it is, right here. See how organized I am?
Oh, yeah.
Chuck Smith at the High Life Cafe says, just a quick reminder about High Life Cafe wine dinner on June 3rd. That's tonight. They have still a few spaces available for this amazing dinner. There have been a couple of wine changes for the better, I think, he says. If you'd like to check out the menu with wine pairings, go to highlifecafe.com. Click on the specials tab. That's HILIFE, highlifecafe.com. And don't forget about Chef Carlos's next cooking class, June 17. Good guy, Chuck, and great food at the High Life Cafe. So that's tonight. You going to go by?
Maybe I might. I love that place.
George did, too. I haven't heard anything from George in several days now. Hope he's okay and hope he's still alive.
I think Cordes talked to him on Monday and said nothing new.
Shirley Jan says, Shirley that brought the $40 to George at Gulfstream that day, who I thought was a really nice lady, and she probably is, but she doesn't like you.
That's okay.
She says, I'm a long-time listener and a great fan, but Flea is another beast. Boy, that's a shot. Obviously has money, so doesn't need the income from the show. Yeah. You're loaded, aren't you?
Oh, man, it's just crazy how much cash I got. Buckets.
Shirley says, I do believe now that he stabbed George in the back and will do it to you the first chance he gets. Watch your back. Wow. Watch your ass.
Rectum,
says Shirley.
Okay. I guess she won't be bringing...
stab me in the back.
Yeah, she won't be bringing me any money if we're back at a Gulfstream anytime soon, huh? No.
That's for damn sure.
Dang.
She'll bring you a bag, all right. There'll be something in it with an aroma. An aroma that could put you into a coma. Oh, here's that thing about Conquistador. I read it yesterday. Oh, I still got stuff from yesterday with the one-hit wonders. Oh, my God. We need a slew of emails today. Neil at neilrogers.com. We need a lot of stuff. Can't take any calls because the phones aren't working yet because we're not in our new studio, which was promised toward the end of this week, and then now we're saying Monday maybe?
I'm saying Monday at the latest.
At the latest. I think you're saying that kind of like tongue-in-cheek. Like you yourself don't believe it?
Well.
I mean, there are just so many bizarre things going on. Like yesterday, we had a double dose of bizarreness, and Corso was right in there with his finger on it. Mike Johnson says, just finished listening to your first two shows back this week on my plane ride to Tokyo. Nothing better than to have two broadcasts of your show to help pass the flying time. As I'm getting ready to continue on my journey for another 7-hour flight to Singapore, I'm currently downloading the Thursday show to get through this flight. This is from Friday, May 29, this past Friday. Also, I checked out the movie Doubt on the plane based upon your discussion. Excellent storyline. However, it seemed to end abruptly, though I guess that's what the writers wanted, leaving us to decide, did he do it or did he not? Now, didn't you tell me George hated that movie?
He did.
No, maybe he didn't like it. He doesn't like movies that don't have closure, you know?
Right.
It says, I'm guessing that Thursday was probably the magical day that Flea got in the brand new Neil Rogers finished studio, right? Oh, yeah, hope you killed him at Mohawk. Oh, poor Mike. Mike is delusional. Mohawk sucks, number one. I was there 20 minutes and flew out of there. And number two, new studio still ain't ready. I don't want to say that this move into the new building was a premature situation, but it was. Badly, badly, badly handled. So I keep getting these emails about the Humper really doing the sports update and the traffic on 790 two nights ago.
It happened. Steve Sloan told me he heard it.
He heard it. And what's it all about?
I don't know.
Just for yucks? Is that it?
I think so.
Boy. I think it's not so much a reflection of the fact that Hank wants back on the air or the fact that he likes them over there. Just a way of giving a shtuff to this place.
Oh, yeah.
Which I sure don't blame him for that. And neither would anybody else. Juan says, thank God Neil God is back. Nobody will ever replace you. Yeah, that's what you think. Who can do a 4-hour show by himself with little or no help from your producer? I do have to admit Flea is pretty good, and so was D.A. So was D.A.? Oh, my God. Those 3 days from hell? I don't think they can do the show by themselves yet, but they're coming along. George was the same way. He was pretty bad in the beginning, but then he developed his own style, and it was a nice change of pace. Like I said before, D.A. was good when he was talking about general topics. I don't mind very little sports talk, but please, calls from retards wanting to analyze why the Marlins are losing. They stink and nobody cares. Neil, you can take your vacation in peace because I will be listening to Flea and D.A. during the summer. D.A.'s not going to be on during the summer. Where are they coming up with that crap?
I don't know.
I hope George gets a job soon. Love you, Neil, says Juan. Well, thanks, Juan. But D.A. is not going to be on. I guess because of those 3 days, they're assuming that he and whoever else was on with him are going to be the summer replacement. Not going to happen. It's going to be Flea and Cordes, I'm told.
Right.
Is that correct? And no tapes.
No tapes.
Absolutely, positively, no tapes. So we're told. Is it true that Tim didn't wear underwear because he had a thing about germs? In place of boxers or brief, he wore Depends because it was more sanitary. Who the hell is Tim? Oh, Tiny Tim.
Oh.
Since you're the all-knowing deity, is this really true? I don't know, and I don't care. Why would anybody care?
I don't know. I've heard that too, though.
Joe in Hollywood gives me a spy report about Mr. Ego, and we don't care. We don't publicize that show. We don't go there, and neither does anybody else. I don't think they show up, but we barely move the Richter scale. For one thing, for me to be talking about ratings with this new system, I can't do it anymore. I can't knock anybody else's numbers because we, according to these people, don't have one. We got one, but it's just embarrassing. Although we're moving in the right direction, and we still have a way to go, and yeah, I'll call you tomorrow. No, you won't. Dow's down 85 point. And the emails are just, you see what it's turned into? It's like with the phone calls. When you're building a poll like yesterday, one-hit wonders, or best singer, male singer of all time like we did last week, then the emails are pouring in. They're just, there's just papers all over the floor and on the ceiling and on the walls.
And it's funny because they're always telling you what you should like.
Oh, yeah, well, that's nothing new.
Right.
Nothing new at all, like Shawshank. I haven't watched it, and I have no intention of watching it.
You may like it.
And Schindler's List. I haven't watched that either. It's sitting in the other room.
I've never seen that movie.
Well, you better get with it, mister, if you want to be a little bit more Jewish. You better watch Irv Schindler's List, or else.
O'Neill! Eisner?
While spending the remainder of your golden years in the land of death, the one thing you have to depend on is your car. With Jew Canoe theft on the rise, the people who brought you a big black guy named Ben car alarm now bring you an old Jewish guy named Eisen.
Get away from my automobile, you big MF.
Remember when we used to boost them back at Caribbean?
Yeah.
We ought to get a bundle for this, baby.
Yeah.
The white ones are cooler.
Get away from my automobile, you big MF.
What the hell was that?
I object seriously to profanity like that.
Slow down, I think somebody's coming.
Get away from my automobile, you big MF. Get away from my automobile, you big MF.
Whenever some bastard tries to steal my car, I feel safer with an old Jewish guy named Eisen.
Get away from my automobile, you big MF.
Get your old Jewish guy named Eisen car alarm now and receive a free flower antenna.
Get away from my automobile, you big and the F.
An old Jewish guy named Eisen car alarm. Now available at all Zayre's stores.
11:16 at 560 WQAM. We don't have a restaurant deal this week for tomorrow.
No.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah, I was ready for free food.
Well, too bad. You lose. But I'm sure we'll have one the following week. In the new studio.
Yeah.
If we're in the new studio by the following week. Barry says, I can't believe you have railed against Randall Terry for his disgusting comments against Dr. Tiller. What is there to say about Randall Terry, who's a nut job that we haven't said a million times over the years? While this may be a tired issue, yes, you have the forum to blast the right-wing pro-life nuts. Hope I can hear your correct thoughts, says Barry. Here's Barry telling me what to talk about and what to say. Yeah, Randall Terry is a lunatic. Just like the guy from Kansas. What the hell's his name that goes to all the funerals? The homophobe lunatic. Fred Phelps, another lunatic. They've always been crazy, and they always will be, and they still are. Boy, I'm going to tell you, I may rush through this segment. Because Joyce is not far away.
Uh-oh.
Heavy load down the road. I wonder what that's all about. Speaking of that, well, let's see what this one is. Not a whole lot coming in, but it's strange. Hey, Neil, I'm the guy who lived in Hawaii in 2007 and 8, had all the problems there. Really? I moved to Charlottesville, Virginia in February this year, and we relocated. It's where the University of Virginia is located. The city was rated in the top 10 small cities to live in over the last 10 years, listed at number 3. Charlottesville, Virginia. Do you ever hear that?
Nope.
I've heard of Charlotte, North Carolina. People seem to be nice, but there's a lot of hillbillies up there. They must stay to themselves in the mountains. I lived in the Keys for 15 years and visited the Miami area on a regular basics, and I know all too well about rude people. To hell with Joe Bell. They should go across the street. Don't forget to look both ways while crossing, Joe. Wow. And he's talking about the other people? Strange email from a strange guy, no doubt. Authorities revoked the licenses of a South Carolina funeral home and its director after he admitted one of his employees cut the legs off a 6'7" man without the family's permission so the corpse would fit in the casket. A tasket. He wanted to squeeze him in the casket. The State Board of Funeral Services voted unanimously Monday to close Cave Funeral Home in Allendale. The board also fined funeral director Michael Cave $500, ordered him to pay $1,500 for the investigation. In an agreement with the board, Cave said employees never told James Hines' family that his body might not fit in a standard casket. An unlicensed worker, Charles G. Cave, cut the legs with an electric saw without consulting relatives. Hines' widow has said his legs have been cut off between the ankle and calf and put back in the coffin, but the document didn't detail exactly what happened. Michael Cave did not immediately return messages left at his home in Venice on Tuesday. A phone number listed for a Charles Cave in Allendale was disconnected. The funeral board is drawing up its final order, and several members refused to comment until the documents were signed by Cave and filed with the state. Whether Cave can ever reapply for his license will be determined in the final order. Hines, 60, died in October of 2004 of skin cancer, and his family picked out a standard-sized casket at the funeral home. His wife, Ann Hines, said her husband's body was only shown from the chest up at the funeral, and nobody suggested a longer casket. I guess that is a dilemma, ain't it?
I would think so. What do they do with obese people?
Piano case. Ann Hines said rumors about what happened to her husband's body started spreading soon after he was buried. Hines, an albino black man with several modest hits in the 70s as a soul and funk guitarist with Jay Hines and the Boys, was well known in the town of 3,700 people about 75 miles southwest of Columbia. He became a preacher later in his life. Well, don't all folks become preachers later on in life. Playing his guitar during services at the church he built and on a nearby Christian radio station until his death. The widow threatened to sue Cave Funeral Home, and the business agreed to settle out of court as long as she didn't tell anyone how much she received. Ann Hines said workers never told her what happened or apologized. Authorities eventually caught wind of the rumor, leading a funeral service board investigator and county coroner to exhume Hines' body. It's been overwhelming, Ann Hines said. I've gotten lots of calls of support. Also heard from people who said I should have just let this go. Let it go, Ann. They chopped off his legs to squeeze him in a casket. It would have cost a lot more for a much longer casket, I would think, wouldn't it? Not having any expertise in that area. Maybe we've got some casket people in the audience. You think?
I would think so.
We've got some stiffs, I know that. Especially that email from the guy who used to be in Hawaii and he's here and there.
Well, they charge you for everything in those funeral homes, so I'm assuming that an extra long casket would be extra money.
Yeah, Derek, we know who Randall Terry is, okay? Oh, Brian the Beast London says, Charlottesville is where UVA is. It's a great college town, very affluent and very white, says the Beast. Very affluent and very white. Lily white. 276 votes on the poll. What's your recreational drug of choice? Alcohol, 140. Marijuana, 75. None, 24. Other, prescription designer, etc., 19. Cocaine, 6. Heroin, 4. Crystal meth, 3. Ecstasy, 3. Hash, 1. Acid, 1. Huffing gas, none. Sniffing glue, none. See, I've never been able to understand that. Why do people, tell us to put stuff on there and then they don't vote for it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I do the break like right now, it's a little bit early, but I'm going to make a run. You know what I'm saying? I'll be back. Have no fear. You know me.
Okay.
That's my area of expertise is a quick run.
Oh, Neil. Neil, God.
Would you like a little beer to start the fun? On the 5th of May we all drink Corona. Free fried beans that don't want none. Gives me the runs. Rather have a liquid lunch with my Corona. If we drink too much, we'll throw up. That Corona's mine, you better give it up. Don't you touch my beer runs, then go to my
Okay, 11:26 at 560 WQAM. I made it back. Aren't you proud of me?
Very.
Wait till you hear this. This will. You better strap yourself in.
Okay.
From the fake Greg Budell, by way of Bob McKay, it says. 1470 AM, WWNN, that's Mr. Ego Station, 50,000 watts daytime. WQM is 5,000 watts daytime. Beasleys are talking about putting you on the station to make room for Sid Rosenberg middays on QAM.
What?
You want me to read that again?
Please.
1470 AM, WWNN. That's the Mr. Ego Station that nobody knows is on the air, that doesn't register a blip on the Richter scale.
Uh-huh.
It's 50,000 watts daytime. WQM is 5,000 watts daytime. The Beasleys are talking about putting you on the station to make room for Sid Rosenberg middays on QAM. That's your take?
Well, it's news to me. I don't even know that station existed.
Oh, yeah. Well, neither does anybody else. Except those 5 people who listen to Mr. Ego in the morning. Now, that would make sense, wouldn't it? We know they've been confabulating with Rosenberg.
True.
And, of course, the rumor that he was going to do 2 to 4. Terry says, I hear that funeral homes have a pricing scale based on the length of the coffin. If the family had been willing to pay a little extra, they could have gotten an extra 2 feet. And then it says, insert Gilbert laugh. Okay. I inserted Gilbert laugh.
That was good.
So your take on that is Bubba Micey, huh?
It's news to me. I haven't heard anything like that.
Sure makes sense based on the way they've been pushing these last 2-3 weeks. And then, of course, the George business. That was the beginning of it.
Right.
Oh, he'll take a walk. He'll walk out. You'll see. A newborn is being cared for at a hospital in West Springfield, Mass. after being found abandoned, umbilical cord still attached, in a West Springfield motel room littered with empty beer cans. People said the baby was discovered early Saturday by a couple returning to the room next door at the Welcome Inn. Kimberly Doherty told the Republic newspaper of Springfield that she heard a weak cry coming from the next room. The door was ajar, and when she entered, she found the baby girl lying on her back in the middle of a double bed. Doherty said she and her husband wrapped the baby in towels until paramedics arrived and took the infant to Bay State Medical Center. Doherty guessed that the baby was only an hour or 2 old. Investigators are still trying to track down the mother. A motel room littered with empty beer cans. Sounds like a classy mom to me, don't it?
Oh, yeah.
$296 votes on the poll. Emails, nothing. 0. Neil@neilrogers.com. 0. Nothing. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity. And that's because we're not doing building a poll. Just like what happened with the phones long ago. When we were poll building, we'd have 8 million calls. And then we have the one guy, poll building is boring. Poll building, and that one chronic.
Right.
Well, you don't remember him. That's way before your time. Remember him?
I used to listen, yeah.
Whole building's boring. But it sure elicits a response. But other than that, they got nothing to say. I mean, nothing. Zippity-doo-dah. I was talking before about northern Italian cuisine and southern Italian.
Right.
And somebody, Benjamin, sent me this. The Battle of Taste is sure to go 15 full rounds or at least 7 courses. And it's written by Kareem Marashi. What does a guy named Kareem know about Italian food? Italian food always ranks at the top of every world-class diners list, but in a bout between northern versus southern Italian cooking, the Battle of Taste is sure to go the full 15 rounds or at least 7 courses. Che pane, olio oliva. I can't get that scene out of my mind. Eli Wallach. The assassin should have killed him right there on the spot. Should have at least poisoned the bread. But we had to wait a long, long time until Connie gave him the poison cannoli. You eat it. You're so skinny. And then she did you see Godfather 3?
Yeah.
And hated it like most everybody else.
Wasn't a big fan, though.
And the way she, licked a little bit off the end of the cannoli, she, just a little tiny bit. Oh, boy. Italy wasn't even unified as a nation until 1861. In the time leading up to that, Italy's mountainous valleys and lack of adequate communication between regions isolated communities and promoted cultural heterogeneity. What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Heterogeneity. Since the fall of Rome, the land now known as Italy has also been subject to foreign invaders periodically throughout history, falling under Spanish, Austrian, French, even Arab powers. Thus, these influences have promoted culinary differences between regions, and to this day, those differences are, at the same time, celebrated and coveted by their respective residents. Presently, climatic conditions and economic disparity are the biggest factors separating the North from the South. As a result, foods of the areas reflect this variance. Specifically, northern Italy enjoys rich, fertile land and a sizable, affluent population, producing such things as homemade pastas, exotic seafood, and specialty sausages. Italy is Europe's biggest producer of rice, which is often served with fish and seasoned with fragrant herbs such as a variety of basils, oregano, rosemary, sage, parsley, and marjoram. The dishes are often garnished with capers and lemon and are usually light and airy to the palate. Rich foods are also popular, specifically in the northern region of Emilia-Romagna. Butter is favored over olive oil for cooking. That's in the north. Pork sausages, cheese, and hearty pasta dishes are all local favorites.
Heterogeneity. The quality or state of being. Wow, it's a big word for nothing.
The quality or state of being?
Yep.
How about homogeneity? The quality or state of being. Just a little further south is the Tuscany region, where fresh fruit and vegetables are grown locally and sold in open-air markets. The atmosphere breeds a light cuisine with dishes just slightly flavored with olive oil and garlic, and boasting vine-ripened tomatoes, just picked olives, and the most colorful beans. Gelaterias and pasticcerias also abound in this region, which vaunt a refreshing array of Italian ice creams or gelato and Italian pastries. I'll tell you, in Germany, the gelato is just as good as it is in Italy, maybe even better.
And homogeneity is actually a word.
Is that like homogenized milk?
I guess. It's a state of having identical cumulative distribution functions or values. Not compelling.
No, not in the least bit compelling. Continue southward toward Rome and the terrain becomes more sparse and arid, which is in stark contrast to the gastronomical delights inherent to the region. Lamb and pork accompany artichokes so tender there isn't a need to scrape them from the leaves, and desserts plentiful with walnuts, hazelnuts, pine nuts, and almonds. I love hazelnuts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
You ever have Nutella? Have you ever had Nutella?
Yeah.
That's good stuff. That's made out of hazelnut. Really?
No. Like that chocolate schmear stuff in a jar?
Yeah, the Germans use it a lot.
Some people eat it out of the jar, like with a spoon. I think you got to be a little nutty to do that.
I like it with peanut butter.
The southern peninsula of Italy and the islands of Sicily and Sardinia are covered in olive tree groves. Olive oil, olio oliva, is mass-produced and used as a base in cooking. Breads are smothered with seasoned olive paste made from native Gaeta, Ligurian, and Sicilian-style olives. Each has its own exceptional taste and unique color. The climate also provides for abundance of citrus fruits, which are readily used in sauces and to flavor meats. In the South, Parmesan cheese is replaced with Pecorino cheese, which is made from sheep's milk and tangier, sharper in taste and saltier than Parmesan. Or as somebody would say, Parmesan cheese. I don't want to say Mr. Ego. Wouldn't that be something if we wound up on that signal?
That's crazy.
You say that about everything. That's crazy. Like those ratings in the Winter Book.
Right.
I think...
This is where crazy happens.
Oh, yeah. Beasley, crazy. And it sure ties in with their desperate attempts to try to piss me off and get me to walk, which I'm not going to do, by the way. I have mouths to feed, people to take care of, including myself. I learned a long time ago... Well, let me just finish this. While the food greatly varies not only between northern and southern Italy, but also between regions, there is still one underlying commonality throughout all of Italy. Italians treasure their heritage and their cuisine. It's evident in the recipes, variety, and atmosphere that goes along with eating. Enjoy the differences, it says. Yeah, the Italians spend a much higher proportion of their income on food than, like, for example, Americans or most other countries.
It's because it's so good. I tried something the other night that I know you said you don't like risotto, but this was really good. They took risotto, mixed it with goat cheese, turned it into little balls, breaded it, fried it, and then served it with this, like, spicy marinara. It was really good. If you like goat cheese.
Yeah, I do like goat cheese. I just don't like risotto. Lori has got a economy pool. We've already done this. Not with these particular questions, but I don't know about South Florida, she says, anymore, but up here in Maryland, a lot of people seem to be unaffected by this horrendous economy, so here's my question. We've done this. I know you did a poll about jobs recently. I think this one's a bit different. Thanks for putting up with everything so we can enjoy hearing you every day. Hope George finds a really good gig soon. So do we, Lori. Maybe we'll hear from... Oh, Eric in North Miami. This is the LeBastard F-bomb report.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to say Chicago Cub Koeskui Fukudomi. Is that his name?
Right.
Careful how you say it. It says, but they were able to catch it. Oh, they were able to catch it probably because their dump button works. Probably because they're not technically challenged as much as we are. Even though it's a horseball outfit and not a real radio station, just a lease job. But nevertheless, their stuff works. Ours, on the other hand, I see, so. Sometime it do and sometime it don't, etc. Tom says this is about Doubt, which I don't care what anybody says is a very, very good movie. And I also don't care what anybody says about... Philip Seymour Hoffman is usually so great, and he's very good in this movie, but his good performance is so overshadowed by Meryl Streep that it's almost like he's not even in it.
True.
Now, did you ever see Owning Mahowny?
No, I don't think so.
With Philip Seymour Hoffman? True story and it happened here in Toronto, about a guy who was embezzling money from the bank where he worked to support his gambling habit.
Nice.
And I don't want to ruin it for you. But talk about a wild, crazy gambler in Atlantic City and Vegas. And when they saw him coming, man, their face would beam from ear to rear. Owning Mahowny. It's a good flick. And he's great in it, too. And I'll tell you who else is great is the dark-complected kid who plays the kid that works in the casino. I don't know what they call him. Not an attendant. He's like a something in the casino. And takes care of Philip Seymour Hoffman. Anyway, Tom says about Doubt, the head nun, Streep, told the priest Hoffman she had spoken to a nun at his last parish. The nun at the last parish confirmed her suspicions of his abusing children. If the priest didn't request a transfer, she would look into the reasons for him leaving for previous positions. Streep's character later admitted she never made those inquiries, but her accusations were confirmed when Hoffman's character transferred out and was promoted to pastor. I thought the film was excellent. Thank you, Tom C. Okay, Tom. I'm glad you liked it, Tom. I see he's just assuming that because she admitted that she made it up. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it yet, but I guess I just did. She admitted that she never made the calls. Remember she was sitting there weeping on the bench?
Right.
Toward the end of the movie? You talk about an acting performance. If there's ever been a better one by male or female than that one. She just inspired. She was kind of like the Joe Bell of the movies. Inspired great hate. Yes. Hostility. What?
Yeah, for sure. By the end of that movie, you couldn't stand her.
Like I said, just like Joe Bell. Time for the sounds of silence.
Just tell me what your problem is.
The Red Sox had enough of you. Now you're wearing Dodger blue. You say the drugs you're on were from a doctor. Your agent likes to say it's just Manny being Manny. Oh, Manny. Maybe Boston knew that you were using, so they traded you away. Oh, Manny. Without you, the Dodgers will start losing, 'cause you cheated the game. Oh, Manny. Yeah, your stupid excuse no one's buying. Now you're out 50 games. Oh, Manny. No matter what you say, you are lying. And now you're through.
Well, what about LeBron, though? What's Manny got to do with LeBron? Give me the ball, give me the ball. LeBron. And then, of course, what's his name? The tennis player, the ugly guy? Roger Federer. A fag crush.
Gay.
Let me just read that one email again, okay?
Okay.
Because this is the same fake Greg Vidal was telling us how we were going oldies on QAM a few months ago. Subject from Bob McKay. See, he's also spreading the rumor that Bob McKay is coming in to be PD and Clarence is out. Well, how is that going to affect you?
I don't know.
You know Bob McKay?
I know of him.
Good guy, I think. I don't know if I ever met him or not. I hear all kinds of good things about him, which means, Clarence, when you come back from your honeymoon, bye-bye. It's like, I don't know what to describe it as. It's like like everything is just being regurgitated in this place. They're just chewing up people and spitting them out and chewing like a garbage disposal. Mostly the disposal part. Anyway, the fake Greg Vidal writes from Bob McKay, 1470 AM, WWNN is 50,000 watts daytime, WQAM is 5,000 watts daytime. Beasleys are talking about putting you on the station to make room for Sid Rosenberg middays on QM. Well, they do own that 1470. You do know that, don't you?
I do now.
Yeah, they own it. Now, what would your take be on that?
I don't know, but you know who I can ask because he's here today?
Who's that?
Bruce Beasley.
Really?
I just saw him in the hallway with Joe Bell.
Oh, my God. You've got to be kidding me. Wow. Now the pressure's really, really on. Not. Wouldn't you think?
You better be.
So, in other words, you're that tight with Bruce Beasley, you go up and ask him, hey, is it true that we're going to go on 1470?
I wouldn't say we're tight, but what's the harm in asking?
Yeah, that's right. Worst that's going to happen is you'll get a lie, you know. Eric says, wasn't QM airing basketball at nights during the second week of May? I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, we had the NBA games on. We did.
The second week of May?
We had the conference finals on, I think, yeah.
Well, there you go. Maybe that would explain that 3-4, although I'll be honest with you, weren't all those games also on free TV?
That is true.
See, I'm not a big fan of nighttime, like when I was at INZ, the first book in the fall. They carried the World Series games at night. And when the book came out, Tom Likas beat me. He was on W Snooze, which I had left to go to INZ. He beat me in the book and was opening a big mouth about it. Then we got the nightly numbers, and we found out the nights that we had the World Series games on, every night we got a .0.
Yeah, I would rather watch it.
Because it's on free TV. So when you've got something, a sporting event that's on free TV, and it's on radio at the same time, TV always is going to, get the viewing audience. And except for people in the cars, which there aren't just that many at night, you're going to get a point like that.
Right, but remember, you don't need a lot of people listening with this new system.
You mean with the panel?
Right.
That's right.
And we got the finals on, the NBA finals on starting tomorrow, so we'll see if that carries over.
Oh, yeah. NBA Finals Game 1 tomorrow night. No LeBron, though.
Nope.
No LeBron. I still don't understand what kind of a name that is besides Goofy. And why is it that mostly the jocks are the ones with the goofy names? Is there any special reason for that?
No.
Like Plaxico. Do you know anybody else named Plaxico?
I do not.
I mean, plexiglass, yeah, I've heard of that. Hey, Plaxi. I mean, what do you call a guy named Plaxico? Besides miscreant and lawbreaker.
An ass clown.
Ass clown, that's a good idea. You better pass it by Bruce. Go out in the hallway and see if you can find the Beasley guys.
Okay.
Ask him if we can say ass clown. Have him get a hold of Joyce. Put her in that garbage disposal I was talking about. Leonardo says, I heard you had Zippo emails come in a couple of minutes ago, so I figured I would send you one. Well, thanks, Leonardo, although this isn't that exciting. It says, for your information, Capitol Grill in downtown Miami has a killer chocolate hazelnut cake. Oh, I do love anything with hazelnut. Also, I like eating Nutella out of the jar or on bread or on saltines, he said. Well, you're right, Leo. You don't have much, but at least it's something. You know, he cared enough to send his very best, which wasn't a lot. The Dow's down 81 points.
Uh-oh.
There's Nancy Reagan. And she's got a white dress on today.
Back under happier circumstances.
Boy, she looks bad.
I want to thank everybody for being here.
Good golly. Are you watching it on CNN?
Your thoughts.
No.
Your kind wishes.
She can't be a day over 200. Man, she's looking really, really bad, old Nancy, and she's got the white dress. I think these could be the final days. What's your recreational drug of choice? Maybe they don't like the poll, although we do have 330 votes. Alcohol, 164. Marijuana, 90. None, 32. We got 32 straight-laced people out there who don't do nothing bad.
Nancy Reagan's 87.
87? She looks easy 187. And they just helped her to her seat. Oh, my God. Is that what you look like right before you're going to die?
Yeah, I think so.
None, 33. Like I said, 33 straight-laced clowns. Other, prescription designer, etc., 19. Heroin, 6. Cocaine, 6. Ecstasy, 5. Crystal meth, 4. Hash, 2. Sniffing glue, 1. Acid, 1. Huffing gas, which you put on there, none. Nobody's huffing gas. It costs too damn much, man.
That's the kids. The kids huff the gas.
Yeah, I know. That's what I hear. Well, we don't have any kids, although we do have a 1.2 share in teenagers, according to this new bogus system. By the way, you might tell Bruce that nobody other than Joe Bell believes this system, and nobody believes there's any, oh, we have to learn to live with it. We have to learn how to deal with it and do this and do that. Yeah, do this and do that. Greg says, hi, Neil. I live in Loretta near Sebring. Yeah, we know, Greg. I'm listening on a Kenwood. Why does he always tell us this, what he's listening on? Regardless of wattage claims, 560 is almost full quieting with a 9 showing on the S meter, while 1470 is barely audible showing a 3 on the S meter. Just thought you should know. Well, see, there's some information from Greg. If we can't get into Loretta, we're screwed. He's listening on a Kenwood R5000 shortwave receiver using a 127-foot inverted V-dial-up antenna, whatever that is.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Thanks for the update, Greg. We aren't going on 1470 just for their 50,000 watts. Although following Mr. Ego, you might get a lot of food to slop on. I don't even have any idea where their studios are, or if they have any. Of course, if they have one, it's more than we got. But you're telling me the rumors are that our studio is going to be completed no later than Monday.
Yeah, they're working on them.
Next Shavuos. We just finished Shavuos like last weekend.
They're working on them right now.
They're doing what?
They're working on the studio right now.
Doing what?
I don't know, engineering things.
Well, believe you me, if there's a place that could use some engineering things, this is the place. Oh, this is supposed to be funny, I guess. His name is Plexiglass Burris because he gets hurt so easy. Oh, yeah. God, that's funny, isn't it? Not compelling.
No.
Conference finals were on TNT, not free TV, except on Saturday or Sunday sometime. So maybe that explains it, huh? If we can put some stuff on there that they can't get on free TV.
Do you know anybody that doesn't have at least basic cable?
No. I know some people that got rabbit ears. I mean, on their head. Remember those days?
Yeah.
Rabbit ears. And then we had CAT TV, Community Antenna Television. That was the beginning of satellite TV and cable. Community Antenna Television, CAT TV. We had it in Marshall, Michigan, of all places. Here's one from Berserko Bob. It says, is Sid Rosenberg really coming to QM? That's enough to make me stop listening. I thought he would go back to New York, but no, with about 100 O's. I'd rather listen to Mo, Howard, David, and Geldy. Makes me want to Joyce all over myself, says Berserko Bob. How do you like that?
So I'm told that other studio that you're talking about, that other station, it's in Boca on Federal.
Oh, boy, it's a long drive for you.
Yeah, I won't be doing that.
Well, what do you mean? For nothing? What about if they pay your gas? Well, what do you mean you won't be doing that?
I'm not driving the Boca every day.
Are you already abandoning the show?
I'm not driving the Boca every day. That's crazy.
With the big bucks they're paying you to work on this show, you're not driving a Boca. Boy, no loyalty.
At that point, I'd be losing money to do the show.
What about if they moved you to Boca with all the other Jews?
Okay.
With the real Jews. You're not Jewish enough to live in Boca.
I can blend.
Yeah, blend this. WB says, now imagine Nancy banging Frank Sinatra in the White House while Ronnie was dropping porridge in the Oval Office. Drooling porridge. He was drooling porridge. Oh, wow. Not good to speak ill of the dead, but Ronnie Reagan, boy, he was what's wrong with the world, you know? He represented what's wrong with the world. This idol worship. Kind of like LeBron, you know, like that. LeBron.
Like the governor of California?
Arnold? Oh, well, Arnold, I said that before when he got elected governor. That was the end of the subhuman race as we knew it.
This is Brady Quinn. Whenever I shave my balls, I listen to the Neil Rogers 12 to 1 hour.
The whole world is swine flu fighting because it's very frightening. Begins with a little bit coughing, then man you swear you're dying. It comes from sunny Mexico, and they say it's spreading fast. Don't know what we're gonna do or how long it's gonna last. When you see somebody sneeze, it really makes you scared to breathe. Stay far away if you can, and make sure to wash your hands. Now the world is swine flu fighting, and you know it's so frightening. And they'll issue some warning and try to stop it from spreading.
You notice we don't hear a damn thing about it anymore. We're all supposed to be dead by now, and I don't hear one word about swine flu. Do you?
Nope.
President Obama's Muslim outreach. That's what they're hawking about on CNN. Pop, 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 pop.
All right, our Dan Lothian traveling with the president in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah, those Saudis, man. Blow them up. The Beast says maybe if you wrote a book, they wouldn't be trying to make you leave. And then he's got this long press release, which also, of course, was emailed to me, and I ignored it and deleted it. But the Beast evidently is impressed.
By
Sid Rosenberg and current Fan Midday host Joe Bonino have signed book deals with Triumph Books. And it goes on and on, like I'm supposed to be promoting this, okay? He's not working here yet, okay, Beast? I'm not promoting him. But he will be. Maybe not 2 to 4, maybe 10 to 2. Wouldn't surprise me at all. I bet you he'll work cheap.
He's going to have to.
I don't understand it either. What's the big simus with him, Conan O'Brien? You think he's funny?
He's okay.
I never thought Leno was funny either, but then again, what do I know?
No, Leno sucked.
Well, there you go. He was on there for, what, 17 years, something like that?
I'm more of a Letterman kind of guy.
And Johnny Carson, I couldn't deal with him either.
Mm-mm.
Jack Parr was great. Steve Allen was great. Even Maury Amsterdam 100 years ago was funnier than Jay Leno.
Maury Amsterdam?
Yeah.
From the Love Boat?
Maury Amsterdam was the first host of The Tonight Show back in the early 50s.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Well, there you go. And I bet you Jack Parr was way before your time, too. Jack Parr show was great. That's something I would stay up to watch. And did. Mitch says, among the one-hit wonder songs you discussed was Spirit in the Sky by Norman Greenbaum, which we did a long thing on that in the first hour, but nevertheless, Mitch maybe wasn't listening then. It says, I went to his official website. Its address is spiritinthesky.com. On spiritinthesky.com, the store features Spirit in the Sky baseball caps, Spirit in the Sky knit caps, Spirit in the Sky t-shirts, Spirit in the Sky mouse pads, Spirit in the Sky coasters, CDs, nearly all of which feature Spirit in the Sky.
Oh, my God.
And small and large autographed pictures of Spirit in the Sky creator Norman Greenbaum. Spirit in the Sky by Norman Greenbaum. Not just a one-hit wonder whose royalties support Norman and his family, but also, it says, a cottage industry. Apparently writing one major hit song goes a long way. And it wasn't even, it was a depressing song. It did well in our pool of one-hit wonders, but boy, it was depressing, morbid. You don't think? And why are the Republicans trotting out these old, tired Newt Gingrich, my God?
That's all they have.
Old trolls. Newty Gingrich.
All they have is like Newt, Dick Cheney, and Mr. Bouncy Bouncy Rush Limbaugh.
And don't forget about Mitt Romney.
Oh, yeah.
Oishmoy Jew says Ronald Reagan is the father of American fascism. That is absolutely correct. He set the stage for Bush Cheney to steal the cash without fear of prosecution. Even though the Bush crime family tried to have him whacked, he's just as guilty. You're right, Nancy looks around 187 years old. Too much cheap booze, maybe, question mark, it says. Just finished a huge bowl of kale and chickpea soup. Oh. It says, talk about a rectum rooter. My shoulder blades are hurting. Never a dull moment. I guess. Sounds like a pretty exciting life to me.
Yeah.
Blackie is back. Oh, my God. Oh. He sends me a thing about On TV. I was on TV. I was on after On TV, actually. On Channel 51, 100 years ago.
Really?
It says, I was looking for a compelling article to forward to you and think I found one. Did you subscribe to On TV back in the late 70s and early 80s? I think it came on over Channel 51. Well, no, I didn't subscribe to it, but I was on it. I had a talk show on Channel 51 live after On TV, which was scrambled. So once it would unscramble, I would come on. And I'd sat there and rip organized religion and take some calls. You know how we did the calls in those days?
How?
My producer would take the calls, and then he would take their phone number and call them back, put them on hold. We had to because it was live TV, you know.
Right.
And we sure didn't want to take a chance on anything like slipping out on the air, like being totally irresponsible and having a bunch of crap slip out on the air. Anyway, it says the article mentions that Wall of Voodoo was one of the music bands the channel used to show. Kind of long, but it has a lot of compelling information that even Joe Bell might approve of. I don't really care whether he approves or not. See, I know this comes as a great surprise, and I've never worked for anybody before who thought that I did the show for them, you know, the GM. I really believe he thinks I do the show for him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't. I don't do the show with him in mind. Oh, what will Joe think of this? Will Joe find this amusing or compelling or captivating? I don't think of that at all. Boy, that's Sotomayor. She's not too sharp looking, you know it?
No.
I mean, not like Dana Bash, the shrunken head. 371 votes on the poll. Huffing Gas finally got one. So maybe we got somebody under the age of 100 on there.
All
one
right.
of our many, many teenagers who allegedly, according to this new research, listen to this show. Do you believe that?
No, not really.
Do you believe any of it?
No.
I mean, where do they get this panel? Where do they get these people?
I'm not sure how they do that.
I mean, big. 8.7 in the morning, Paul and Ron. Now, I can't think of anything more compelling than them. Can you? And the Coast is 7.5.
Right.
You see, if these people who are wired up for this new technology, if they're exposed to, like, background music, it registers. Like Life and Coast, MIA, Slush. The Slush stations do great.
Yeah, and MIA is very gay.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, there must be a lot of gay listeners out there. Not for us, though. They had a 7.2 in the morning, a 5.8 in midday, a 5.8 in the afternoon, and a 6.5 share at night. WMIA. How come it is that cheap channel, all their channels did so great? Remember that email that we had that said that we've got it, we got the panel in our pocket?
I do.
Hey, what's that in your pocket? The panel. Thou shalt, I can't read it. Thou shalt not blackmail. Remember that song, Shout, Shout, Knock Yourself Out by Ernie Maresca?
No, I remember Tears for Fears, Shout.
No, Shout, Shout, Knock Yourself Out. If you had the Georgia stuff there, you could play it.
Maybe on Monday.
Maybe on Monday?
Yep.
So you've actually got this stuff, you just don't have the ability to play it.
I have the DCS in here right now. I can play off of that. I'm just not real familiar with how to use it, but once I get the computer in that other room, George is going to come in and download 1,500 songs for me.
Wow. What a guy.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go see him tomorrow.
And? Oh, I see. Brooklyn Bishop Nicholas DiMarzio threatened state lawmakers by vowing to close churches in their districts and blame them for the closures if they dared support a bill making it easier for people who were sexually assaulted as kids to sue, legislators told the New York Post. Are you following that?
Mm-hmm.
They said the dark warning came during a legislative breakfast at DiMarzio's Brooklyn residence as he told the gathering of about 20 state and city politicians that he would retaliate against Albany lawmakers if they backed the Child Victims Act. Wow. The controversial bill, which could be heading for an assembly floor debate as soon as June 8th, next Monday, seeks to extend the statute of limitations for lawsuits involving the rape or molestation of youngsters. It could cost the church hundreds of millions of dollars in payouts to victimized parishioners. Good. 2 lawmakers said the bishop brazenly bullied them during the coffee and donuts gathering at his stately brick residence on Clinton Hill, October 21. He brazenly bullied them. Oh, by the way, speaking of a brazen show of speed, that's one of Tom Durkin's favorite phrases. What's her name? Rachel Alexandra is now running in the Belmont. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
See the stuff you learn on this show? Educational freaking show, man.
What's the deal with that?
When in doubt, they pulled her out. They don't want to run her.
She would have been the chalk, though, right?
Yeah. So now, Mind That Bird is going to be, and I bet you Calvin Burrell is back on Mind That Bird. Wouldn't that be unusual?
I believe he is.
Well, you didn't know that she wasn't running, so how would you know he's back on Mind That Bird?
Because I didn't hear it, but I saw a promo for the race, and it showed him, and I'm assuming they were saying that he was going to be on Mind That Bird. But I didn't hear it. I could only see it.
That would be really freaky for a guy who wins the Derby and the Belmont on the same horse and wins the Preakness on a different horse.
I don't think it's ever been done.
No. Well, no, it was never done that anybody won the Derby and Preakness on 2 different horses, much less. So he would win the Triple Crown, but on 3 different horses. Calvin Burrell. Maybe he could win enough to buy some teeth. We'll have Dave Johnson on tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. We can analyze the Calvin Burrell teeth situation. Yeah, don't you find him unusual, Calvin Burrell? Strange old dude.
I would think that he makes enough money as a jockey to be able to buy some teeth.
Yeah. Well, why not? Maybe we ought to take up a collection for him.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm surprised I haven't been getting emails yet. They want me to pay George's salary. How about I could buy some teeth for Calvin Burrell?
That's a thought.
So Dave will be on at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. He can answer all your questions because I don't know a lot about it. Kenny Grammer says, hey, that was WIOD, Channel 51 in the early 80s. WKID. Yeah, that's right. WKID. And, Kenny, what about it? This one says Steve Allen was the first Tonight Show host. I don't think so.
That's what I thought. I'll check it out.
I think Maury Amsterdam was on, although they sent me this thing. It says, leaving CBS, Allen created a late-night New York talk variety program in 53 for what is now WNBC TV. The following year, September 27, 54, the show went on the full NBC network as The Tonight Show, with fellow radio personality Gene Rayburn, who later went on to host hit game shows such as Match Game, as the original announcer. So maybe Steve Allen was before Maury Amsterdam, but and Steve Allen, of course, was great. Until in his later years he became a real old fuddy-duddy. He and Joyce would have gotten along great in his later years.
Well, as far as The Tonight Show goes, it said Steve Allen was 1954 to 1957, followed by Jack Parr, followed by Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mention the one you're talking about.
Maury Amsterdam, you're saying, was not on The Tonight Show?
They're not listing them.
I'll bet you 5 times what you're making for doing this show.
Neil! You're listening to Neil Rogers.
Ew, God.
Well, you know GM's in trouble, and there's something they must do. They close their excitement division. Yeah, it's a sad fact, but it's true. Well, baby, you know it's the economy. There ain't no secret about that. I never thought
Okay, so let me ask you this. You've got your dots, right?
I do.
Because it's only 12:18. We got almost 2 hours to kill here today. I mean, the 2 more scintillating and compelling hours.
Right.
Wouldn't you think it'd be a really good idea if we took some calls, and you can punch them up on that end?
I should be able to, yeah.
And you'll have a pretty good idea of when to get rid of them.
Okay.
Now, is it that 877 number? Is that the new... See, I don't even know the number. I don't want to say that this whole deal has been poorly coordinated, but you know what?
I would think in the room that I'm in right now, they could use the regular, 567-0560?
No.
I think it works in this room. Now, when we go to the other room, I don't think it'll work there. But in this room, they should be able to call on that number. And the 877, I don't know if that works in this room, but I know for a fact, the 567-0560 works.
This is great.
Yeah.
In other words, like that.
Right.
Well, let's give it a shot, huh? What do you say?
Okay,
567-0560. Let's take our first calls with Flea.
I have to.
And again, you'll have to keep your finger there.
Yeah, and I think I have to flip something on the phone real quick. So give me 1 second.
You have to flip something on the phone? Yeah, I have to flip something. Rick says old Cal is on Mind That Bird. He's the 2-to-1 favorite on ESPN. Probably the Humpers odds. Calvin Borrell, he's back in Mind That Bird. I think Mind That Bird's going to win. I don't think there are that many quality horses in it.
Wow, well, the phone line's lit up, so obviously that number works.
567-0560? OH560?
Yeah, just like that.
Okay, well, let's punch one up. Hello?
Wait a minute. Try now.
Hello?
Yes, Neil?
Yes.
I have a cervical knife in my rectum. Oh, it hurts.
See, that's what you get.
Oh. 1 vote for the calls, baby. Oh, yeah. Something about his...
rectum.
Right. You want more?
Let's try another one.
Okay.
What?
There you go.
Let's keep them going. QAM, hello.
No.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking my call. That's all I want to say.
Okay. How about another one? Go ahead.
QAM, hello.
George Rodriguez line.
See, this is really awkward because I can't punch him out and I have to wait for you to do it, and I really don't know when you do it.
How about now?
They sound good. They sound clear, crystal clear, don't they?
That's good, yeah.
Hello, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Just a line checker. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
A line checker?
Well, good to see they're consistent. They got just as much to say on the phone as they do on the... Oh, here we go. Walt says, Maury Amsterdam was the host of Broadway Open House, which was the predecessor to The Tonight Show.
Okay.
The Maury Amsterdam show was on CBS TV from December 48 to March 49, and Dumont from April 49 to October 50.
Right.
Among Maury's regular guests was Art Carney. The Cigarette Girl was a feature author, Jacqueline Suzanne. Also in 50, he briefly hosted the comedy variety show Broadway Open House, television's first late-night entertainment show on NBC. He's best known for his role as comedy writer Buddy Sorrell on The Dick Van Dyke Show.
131 episodes.
Of what?
The Dick Van Dyke Show that he was on.
How do you know that? Are you reading the same thing I am?
No, but I'm looking at his thing on, what is it, IMDb.
You're looking at his thing? Oh, I don't want to see his thing.
Well,
he's still alive, I bet. Is he alive?
No, he's been dead for like 13 years.
Oh, poor Maury.
So his thing is a little shriveled.
Fershke says, hope your week is going just great. Can you, at the request of my father Ray, please play something from Dick Fatherly, pretty please? Well, I only have one Fatherly drop-in. That's all we got. I can't invent any other ones. Do you know Dick Fatherly?
No.
I wonder if he's still alive. I can't find it. Oh, here it is.
He's an agent provocateur.
That's it. Pompous ass clown. Dick Fatherly.
Sounds like it.
Okay, the week's going fine, Fershke. We're doing okay. We're going to be in our new studios one of these days. Then we're going to get the phones working on this end. But they're working on your end, which is really great. Don't you like these so far?
I got 4 lines ready to go.
QAM, hello.
Hello, go ahead, man.
Yeah, Neil Rogers.
Who?
Neil Rogers.
Yes, speaking.
Yes. What do you think's going to happen with these mortgages?
With what?
With all these mortgages and the prices of homes.
What do I think?
Yeah.
I don't. What do you think?
Who cares?
Yeah.
You want another one?
Boring. Next call, not so old, please.
Okay, let's see. Go ahead.
QAM, hello.
I can't believe you don't take calls for 3 months and then you got all these idiots that call in all the time, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, one thing about me, at least I have nothing to say, but at least I'm honest about it, you know what I mean?
That's true.
I mean, I'm serious. I mean, I really have nothing to say, but it's just ridiculous that, we wait all these months for calls and then they don't have any...
You know, last time I took calls on this show, I think it was like last November, so it's like almost 8 months.
Well, at least I'm not lying to you. But next time I do call, I will have something to say because I enjoy
listen.
your show.
In between now and then, work on it.
He's gone.
And I'm sure he will. He's working on it right now, I think.
Could be.
This is something I'm looking in my pile here for stuff that's like unfinished business. You know what I mean? I think I'm just about through everything. Although when we were doing the best male singer of all time, here's one too embarrassing to even read. Bing Crosby belongs on the poll. Oh my God! Oh my goodness! Talk about old. This is from Steve. Steve, you must be older than sawdust. Bing Crosby, the greatest male singer of all time. Is that enough to make your bowels twitch?
Yeah.
Okay, how many? We got any calls?
We have like 5 of them lined up.
Wow.
Just let me know when you're ready.
What's that all about? I guess they missed these 8 months of no calls. And let's see what they have to say about this, too. Let's get some input on the emails.
Okay.
From the audience. Oh, we want the calls, Neil, the call. See, this is what is compelling about the show, is me and the callers.
We got one now.
2 a.m., hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
Long time no talk, man. I've been up in Kentucky for like 3 years. Sorry to hear about George.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was calling to ask you, have you ever checked out that series Breaking Bad on AMC with Bryan Cranston?
What is it called? Breaking Wind?
Breaking Bad.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it?
No.
It's the best show on TV right now.
Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad on AMC.
Never heard of it.
Okay, well, check it out. I'm sure you'll like it.
Okay, thanks.
And check out the Shawshank Redemption, too, you mook.
He's gone.
What did he say there at the end? I didn't
Something
get
about
it.
a mook.
Oh, yeah, mook. I think he was talking about you.
Could be.
So what is it, Breaking Wind on AMC?
Yeah, Breaking Bad.
I didn't know that AMC had shows. I thought they just had old movies.
No, they actually have a couple of original series.
I thought they just showed The Godfather parts 1, 2, and 5 over and over again.
They do that a lot.
Right now they got The World's Greatest Lover. With Gene, what's his name?
Hackman?
No, not Gene Hackman.
Oh.
Gene Wilder.
Oh, wow.
You don't like Gene Wilder?
No, he was good in a couple of movies.
Yeah, exactly. He was good in a couple of movies, and other than that, he was good in Frankenstein.
Yeah, Young Frankenstein.
What was that called?
Young Frankenstein?
Young Frankenstein, yeah.
Igor?
Mm-hmm.
Like to be called Igor.
And he was married to Gilda Radner. I think that's the reason I like him, is because he was married to her. If there's anybody in the free world who didn't like Gilda Radner, there's something wrong with you. She was just great.
Yeah. And
then she died. And then Rosanna Dana came along and imitated her in Congress. Ileana Rosanna Dana. God. Only in South Florida could she get elected to even be dog catcher. No, we love Raffy, and Jose, you did wrong, and we have a street named after you, but we might change it because you're a bad boy, and blah, and we love Raffy. Yeah, they loved Raffy till they found out he was on all the roids, too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think she's the creator of roids. She gives me roids. In fact, have you ever seen her and Joyce together? Same person, I bet.
Ooh.
1226 at 560 WQAM. Jerry Lester.
Holy cow, Aaron's coming. Well, congratulations. Get a life. 1232 at 560 WQAM.
I'm dying over here.
Yeah, the Jerry Lester show, and that was part of the same thing with Maury Amsterdam and Dagmar and all those people.
Okay.
Way before your time.
Way.
See, it's good to be old for that, knowing a lot of stuff that before everybody else's time. But the only bad thing about it is when you get old, you're going to die soon.
Now, is it true that the Dick Van Dyke Show was the first TV sitcom to have the husband and wife? Yeah, to have the husband and wife sleep in the same bed on TV?
I thought that was, I don't know. I Love Lucy, they slept in separate beds.
Right. I think Dick Van Dyke was the first show to have a couple actually sleep in the same bed together.
What a grotesque thought that is. He's dead, though, right, Dick Van Dyke?
Yes, he is.
I'll tell you a guy with absolutely no talent whatsoever is his brother, Jerry Van Dyke. Every now and then you'll see him somewhere, you know.
Yeah, he used to be on Coach.
He was on what? Coach?
Coach.
Oh, I bet you that's big at QAM. Coach, hey, Coach. The Dow's down 104 points. And booze continues to lead, although marijuana's not far behind. Alcohol 193, marijuana 104. Your favorite recreational drug of choice. Yeah, Boy, that's a name that I have. Buddy Lester. Jerry Lester. What's his name? Jerry Lester. See, back in those days, well, I guess eventually, like Jack Parr had Alexander King, and he had Dodie Goodman. Those shows cultivated their own really bizarre and fun guests, but they were usually people that nobody ever heard of before, as opposed to the celebrity guests that wound up starting with, Carson and then down the line. Isn't that what's making Conan now? The big deal that he's kicking off his Tonight Show. Oh, he's got this one and that one and, celebrities that you don't ever want to see again.
Yeah, but he had Pearl Jam as musical guest.
Well, good for him. I wouldn't watch Conan O'Brien if you paid me by the millisecond. You're going to pay me? So, in other words, if they move us to Boca, you're not going, right?
How am I going to drive to Boca every day?
I bet you they have a fabulous studio.
I bet.
49-year-old Phil just thought of a great poll. How long till Neil gets fed up with the stupid callers? A day, a week, a month, etc.
I don't know, but the phones are still ringing.
Tom in Gainesville says, I believe you're talking about Jerry Lester. He was on before Steve Allen. I don't think it was called The Tonight Show at first. Working, can't Google it. Well, I'm working too, but I did Google it. Thanks, Tom. I never would have thought of Jerry Lester in a million years. And you wouldn't have either because you never heard of him. Way before your time. I bet you never heard of Alexander King either.
No.
He was hysterical. He was a regular guest on the Jack Parr Tonight Show. He was one of the funniest guys in history. And, in fact, he wrote a bunch of books, and I remember reading all his books, too, because he was so funny. And his books were just as funny as he was on TV. Not as funny as Sid Rosenberg's book. Okay, let's punch a few of these calls up. QAM, hello.
Wait, hang on a second. All right, now.
QAM, hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, there you go.
Very weak. Out of practice, I guess.
Very non-compelling.
Yeah, I would say so. He's a long-time caller, but he's out of form.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect, man. Practice it in the toilet.
Mom?
Hello?
Yeah, first-time listener, long-time
Yeah, right.
caller.
Get rid of this idiot.
How you doing?
Get rid of him.
There you go. Gone. Oh, I got a guy that was actually on hold. Here we go.
Hey, he used to like his corn, didn't he, June? Yeah, Mom would make extra, just so he got a cold corn the next day. Oh, I love cold corn. Oh, no, not me. I don't like cold food. You don't like it?
Get lost, Fatso.
There you go.
QAM, hello.
Go now.
I'm your friend. I miss you.
Oh, one more.
One more?
Yep. QAM, hello.
Yeah, Neil, I've been on hold for 8 months, and I think you owe us a public apology.
No, I do not.
Well, when first dialed in, you had a 6-0, and now you got an 0-4. Now,
yeah. No, now we got a 1-3, man. You better get up to date.
We're moving up.
Yeah, we're moving on up to the east side.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult doing it this way because I know you would hang up at a certain time that I'm not really aware of. So
that's right.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't know some of the callers like
yeah, not yet.
Reverend Jones 2 calls ago and some of the others.
I'll learn them, I'm sure, fast.
But they've been out there waiting they've been lurking, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Lurking in the weeds, waiting to attack like a snake, like a serpent. Lurking in the weeds, waiting for that day when the old man finally gave in.
Well, you got 3 waiting if you want to take any more.
Well, take your time, okay? Let them hold.
We'll ease into it.
Butch says, I've been out of town for a while, haven't had a chance to listen to your show. What's going on with George? George ain't here no more. They blew George out to save the money. They're firing everybody, okay? And they're trying desperately to get me out, too, but I'm not leaving. I got a terry cloth clad contract. You know that ironclad? Mine is terry cloth clad. Mine is paper mache clad contract. And what is this crap? Parallels between now and 1914. Boy, somebody has taken the time to write some real swill here. Britain and Germany were more involved trade partners than U.S. and China today. There was a technological revolution with transatlantic communication. Britain was the empire of the time. Nobody was expecting World War I to occur beforehand. As for terrorism, Al-Qaeda was paralleled by the Bolsheviks, it says, who seized power in Russia. The Bolsheviks. Maybe he means the Bolsheviks.
Could be.
And as Belgium sparked Britain's involvement in Germany, the U.S. will likely be sparked by the defense of Taiwan. What's the point? China has a standing army of 350 million and nukes and owns our debt and could cripple us at any time by dumping our debt once they believe it needs to be done to dethrone our empire. China is the real threat beyond Al-Qaeda gaining control of the state. Well, good. I'm glad you figured it all out. Dick Van Dyke is still alive. He's 83.
Oh, okay.
See, you took my word for it. And here's another one. Another guy says he's still alive. He did the first night at the museum, says Mark in Coconut Creek. Well, good for him. Oh, Jeff B., who's the head of the pollmeister. Remember Jeff B., Jeff Beeching? He was beaching yesterday about the poll. Oh, these people are this and they're that, and they should do their research. How about, take it all very seriously. It's a stinking radio show, okay, Jeff? Just calm down. He says, why is it drunks live extra long lives? Yeah, like Weinstein Churchill. And Rob and Laura slept in separate beds. How do you like that, Flea? Dick Van Dyke and the whoever she was, they slept in separate beds. That's a good poll question, but a trivia question. Let's get Mike Spindell back on the air. What do you say we have a reunion? All the old, still barely hanging on. I don't know if these people are dead or alive. Because I hear from fake this one and fake that one, like Greg Budell. Although the fakers have kind of laid back, other than that very, very incendiary email from the fake Greg Budell about Sid the Kid. I think Sid the Kid is participating in this effort to get me to take a walk, to open up an avenue in here for him. He wants badly on this station.
I'm sure.
You think? Sometimes you want something and then you don't realize if you get it, it was a bad mistake.
O'Neill. Esta es la estación número 1 aquí en Miami. Es mi favorita.
Increíble.
Excelente. WQAM. Olé.
When you were a kid, you took Flintstones vitamins to make sure you'd grow up big and strong. But today, big and strong isn't good enough anymore. That's why you need to give your kids Flintstones Chewable Steroids, the non-vitamin with the extra punch. Ask yourself, what do my kids need most? Healthy, balanced nutrition or a lethal muscle mass that makes them feel like they can crush anything in their path? Flintstones Chewable Steroids come in great-tasting flavors like Fred Flintsteindione, Bam Bandrolone, and Oxendinodrine. With Flintstones Chewable Steroids, your kids will love their new bulk and striated muscle tissue. And it'll be years before they even care about their ever-shrinking genitalia. And what little girl wouldn't want to be the first in her brownie troop to have her own goatee?
Oh, crap. Mom, we're out of Barbasol.
What, dear?
I said, Mom, we're out of Barbasol.
Make your kid a Flintstones Chewable Steroids kid. 10 million strong and bulging.
12:45, it's bulging all right. At 560 WQAM, we got the Big O coming up at 2 o'clock. Eric gives us the Conan information. Eric in North Miami. Interested?
A little.
In his opening night, Conan got a 7.1 with a 17 share. The second night, a 5.0 with a 12 share. So by the second night, there were like, I don't know, about a third of the audience dropped off. I can see why. There was an enormous amount of hype. He was on with Leno his last night,
Right.
And they hyped and hyped and pushed. And a lot of people tuned in on Monday. And then by Tuesday, they said, I don't know. This one must be from Mike Rosenthal. I said, you made a mistake. You made a mistake. Dick Van Dyke is alive, 83 years old, a right-wing lunatic. Hope he dies soon, it says, but he's still alive. You said he was dead. You made a mistake. You made a mistake, it says 500 times.
I thought he was dead, too.
Yeah, we all thought he was dead.
He should be.
He should what?
He should be. He's had enough.
83, that's not so old. Wait till you're 82 and you'll say, I don't know, I don't think 83 is all that old. Maybe 93, The reason I played that Flintstones bit, Stace from Weston says, and I think she's right, I believe it was the Flintstones, Fred and Wilma, who were the first to share a bet on TV. You think?
Could be. I'll see if I can find that out.
Yeah, do some research. Do some heavy-duty research. How's the phones doing, by the way? Let me know.
We got 3 calls waiting.
Okay, keep them on hold for a while.
Okay, you just let me know.
Keep them on slow cook. I'll brace myself to get ready to take some more. Jim says you gotta get Flea to stop the freaking Elmo potty bit playing on the stream. By the way, can you add the Red Bull fake spot to the remove list, too? Enough already, says Jim. I'd rather listen to spots from Mandich or the Big O over and over again. Oh, wait, I already do, he says.
Okay.
Well, that's what Jim says. It's a request. Stop the freaking Elmo potty bit. I don't even know what he's talking about. Is it one of the bits that we used to play that we can't play anymore?
No, it's a new bit. It's basically a beeped-out version of Elmo talking to some little kid. I think it's kind of funny, but I guess if you hear it enough, it would get old.
Yeah. Maybe what you ought to do is play the bits on the stream that we can't play on the air.
I can do that.
Of course, you'd have to get them out of the DCS, which you don't know how to use it yet, or you don't have it, or what's the deal?
I have it. I just don't know how to use it completely.
Oh, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
In fact, when George comes in, he can give you a primer on the DCS. Well, I'm trying to get this straightened out, and thanks to people that are sending this crap. I mean, it goes back 100 years, and you have to be an old fart like me to know it. The name of the show was Broadway Open House. The precursor, the predecessor to the Tonight Show. It says other Broadway Open House cast members were tap dancer Ray Malone, accordionist Milton DeLugg, I remember him, announcer Wayne Howell, and vocalist Jane Harvey, Andy Roberts, and David Street. The show's opening theme music was the Beanbag song by DeLugg, Lester, and Willie Stein. A second theme was the song It's Almost Like Being in Love. DeLugg often played the song he and Stein wrote, Orange Colored Sky, which became a hit for Nat King Cole. Ray Buffum and Jack Hine were the producers. Hine and Joe Cavalier directed. Stan Burns and Alan Sherman were the writers. Alan Sherman, Hello Mudda, Hello Fada. Even you remember him.
Yes, I do.
Oh. The program was developed by Sylvester Pat Weaver, a programming VP at NBC, who had started his career as a production assistant on the Fred Allen radio show Town Hall Tonight in the 1930s. Wow, talk about ancient. After the 15-month run of Broadway Open House, Weaver further developed his ideas on a local show over NBC's New York station starring Steve Allen, which eventually took to the network in 1954 as The Tonight Show. Steve Allen remembered Hornsby Broadway Open House and Fred Allen in a 1997 interview. He said NBC had tried unsuccessfully to do late-night TV with comedian Jerry Lester and with Maury Amsterdam in the early 50s, but that didn't go over well with the viewers. I'm not certain the quality of the show had anything to do with it. At that point in time, you still had a limited number of TV sets, and television still hadn't come to a lot of the medium-sized cities around the country. I think you had a lot of people in the network executive suites who were convinced that 11 o'clock was just too late for people to stay up and watch TV. The original show, Broadway Open House, had done something. Chopped off.
Okay.
Oh, it says if it had been done 5 years later, they might have changed their minds because they did a lot of the same kind of humor we did later. Anytime a performer dies in the process of doing a TV series or Broadway show, it's a difficult proposition how to proceed in good taste. With Fred Allen, this was in the mid-50s, and while he was never successful in TV, he had been an icon on radio. You know why he was unsuccessful on TV, Fred Allen?
No.
Because he was old and very ugly.
Oh.
This may have been the first time, or at least one of the first times, a performer on TV died while in the midst of doing a regular show. Not in the middle of the show, but during the run. A comedian named David Hornsby was supposed to do NBC's first late-night show, but he died 2 weeks before the show went on the air, so the audience hadn't seen him yet. But Fred Allen was one of the great humorists in the history of entertainment at that time, and the nation was still in shock because people had just seen him the previous Sunday night, and then he said,
I'm dying over here. I'm dying over here.
That. He died.
Well, the first couple to be shown in bed together in American television was Fred and Wilma Flintstone.
Told you.
The first real people, I think, were the Van Dykes, though. I'm going to double-check that.
I thought somebody said the Van Dykes weren't doing it. They may have been in bed together, but they weren't doing it.
How did Little Richie come around, or whatever that kid's name was?
I didn't watch that show. Are you telling me you watched the Dick Van Dyke Show?
Reruns, yeah, on TV Land.
God. Oh. That explains a lot. I'm so sorry for you. Wesley has got a poll idea. Best old TV sitcoms. No, we don't want to do too old, okay? It's not even good that we're doing the old Tonight Show stuff, except that, we got the Changing of the Guard on the Tonight Show. It's somewhat compelling. Not real compelling, but a little bit. The early TV sitcom, Mary Kay and Johnny, is listed as the first TV show where the couple slept in the same bed.
Yep.
Oh, you found that too, just as somebody sent it in?
Just now.
Kathy says Tom Jicka says this, and Tom Jicka said that, and Michael Corleone said this. I'm printing it out. John says, Dick Van Dyke isn't dead, but it looks like nobody told him. Yeah, there are a lot of people going around like that. Like Nancy Reagan. She's not dead yet, but boy, somebody forgot to tell her. She looked really, really bad at that bash they were having in Ronnie Reagan's memory, whatever that was. Fascists be us, whatever that deal was. Nice shoe polish, though, on the hair. That was a great touch. Remember the days when you used to use shoe polish? Probably not. Kiwi. Wasn't it Kiwi shoe polish?
Yep.
Now, did you ever use it?
No.
Oh. Well, somebody says, I could be wrong, but I think the first TV couple to appear in the same bed were Bob and Emily Hartley in the Bob Newhart Show, which first aired in '72.
That is incorrect.
Now that I think about it, Archie and Edith slept in the same bed. All in the Family was on at about the same time.
And so did the Munsters.
Oh, jeez. The Elmo and Cocaine online has got to go, and the Joe Bell stuff is getting old, too, says somebody. Chris. Too bad, Chris. Hey, yes, you're right about that. He's right. The Joe Bell stuff is getting really old. Oh, I'll call you tomorrow. No, you won't. Go away.
Yeah, so that person was right. In 1947, it was that show that he mentioned, Mary Kay. Johnny and Mary Kay, which I guess later became I Love Lucy or something like that.
No.
Like a spin-off or something.
How could John and Mary Kay become I Love Lucy?
I don't know. It said, like the more famous I Love Lucy series that followed it. Oh, I'm sorry. It came on after it.
Lucy! Byron Pegg and Mustard the Wonder Dog, who are beyond chronic. I think All in the Family might be the first. No. Not.
Nope.
Now you got everybody guessing on that.
Well, we got it now.
Dave in Coral Springs has got something pornographic to say about Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see Dick Van Dyke involved in anything sexual or even close to it. The thought of it makes me nauseous. Bob B., I'm your friend in the Keys, says, heard you speaking about Steve Allen. At one time, very funny. Isn't he dead? Yeah, he's dead. But I came across something interesting regarding him. I was researching and found you on YouTube, an old Steve Allen show where a clean-cut Frank Zappa plays a bicycle on the show. What does that mean, he plays a bicycle on the show?
I don't know.
Pretty funny stuff. And Zappa gets Steve to participate. Just a tidbit for you. Zappa rules, says Bob B. Okay? Well, I won't argue with that. 430 votes on our marginal poll, your recreational drug of choice. Booze 204, marijuana 108, none 60. After that, it's small tater tots. Kathy says, Tom Jicka keeps saying in his column it was the Bradys, ironically, who did have a double bed. The Bradys, is that Tom and Giselle?
Mm-hmm.
But I've always heard it was Herman and Lily and the Munsters and predated the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch had a double bed. That's because what's his name was
gay.
Was Robert Reed.
Right.
Was
gay.
And she was doing Greg.
No, was she? No, that was just a rumor.
No, that was real.
According to whom?
To like bios and stuff like that I've seen on TV.
Florence Henderson was doing Greg.
Absolutely.
Brady? It said the network okayed it because the show was so much fantasy, the Munsters and Oddball, the audience wouldn't think anything was going on anyway. Plus, they kept showing Lily, putting a lily over her heart and going straight to sleep.
Because we wouldn't want to think that married couples were actually having sex.
No. Kind of like NBC allowing the first interracial kiss on Star Trek between Kirk and Uhura because the story, in the story, aliens were forcing them to do it for their amusement. The influence being that it was something awful. The inference, says Kathy. Thanks, Kathy. Kathy cared enough to send her very best. And we were talking about Mama Cass and the sandwich a week or two ago, whenever the hell we were on. It says, according to Snopes, Cass Elliot died from fatty myocardial degeneration due to obesity, a heart attack brought about by fatty degeneration of the heart muscle fiber. Nothing was found blocking her mouth or her throat.
True.
Oh, and you know who this is from?
Nope.
The king of all media, Sid Rosenstein, Berg, Schwartz, Katz. I thought Howard was the king of all media, but then again, Sid kind of morphs into Howard every now and then.
You're listening to Neil Rogers.
It's the 1 to 2 hour.
Sure.
Hey, this is Vince for Swine Wow. And you'll be saying, wow, I feel like I'm going to die if you get the swine flu. That's why you need the Swine Wow. Works like a sponge when it comes to the influenza virus. Some kid back from spring break in Cancun cough up a lung on your coffee table? Wipe it up with Swine Wow. Infected saliva, mucus, that's where the disease is. Soak it up with Swine Wow. You following me there, CDC guy? Swine Wow is made in Mexico. Hey, you know the Mexicans make killer stuff. Use the Swine Wow as a surgical mask. I tell you, nothing's getting through the Swine Wow. And if you order now, because you know the panic's not going to last forever, we'll throw in another Swine Wow absolutely free. Swine Wow. Order now.
You'll say Swine Wow every time. Vince. One thing about him, man, he's compelling. Even if you hate him like poison, he's still compelling. You know what I mean? You can't get him out of your mind.
What was his real name?
Vince Yoshi Schmendrick. I don't know. Look it up. Google it.
Okay.
ShamWow Vince. He's Israeli. Infoman says, I saw the movie Doubt. Says Doug. Doug is so full of it. The principal had the George Bush bonehead attitude. She didn't like something and wanted to get rid of it. The priest was the Sodom of the movie. The movie was about intolerance and what it does to progress. Is that what you got from Doubt? Is that it was about intolerance and what it does to progress?
Huh?
Exactly. The little kid was not manly, according to his mom, and so was the priest, but they didn't do anything. How do we know that? Thus, the doubt that intolerant people feel, you're supposed to feel sorry for her, says Infoman. For who, the mom? Why would I feel sorry for her?
I don't know.
When she says, oh, it's only until June anyway.
Yeah, I feel bad for the kid.
Yeah, so let the priest diddle the kid. You know, it's only until June anyway.
Yeah, his name is Shlomi.
Shlomi Schmendrick.
Oi!
That's Vince from ShamWow. Extra Jewish. Okay, we got some calls lined up, or those three people vanish?
They vanished.
Told you. 567-0560, pound 560 on the Verizon and AT&T wireless lines. We still doing those?
I think so, yeah.
Well, I'm not really sure because we're out of the loop. They told us nothing, you know. Oh, here you go. You're in a new building, and go ahead. Some stuff works, some stuff doesn't work, and good luck to you. They gave it the old bum's rush.
Mm-hmm.
Anything happening on the phone? I mean, they waited 8 months. They were screaming, oh, we want the phones. We want the calls, Neil.
Nothing yet.
What?
Nothing yet.
Nothing?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's because the delay is, about 5 minutes? Except when we want it to be long, then it's like 5 seconds. Like yesterday.
Oh, we got one if you want to take it.
Penguins won last night, by the way. The fake Jim DeFetus said, and go Miro Shatan. Yeah, I like him too. QAM, hello.
Wait a minute, here you go.
Taking my call.
Yeah.
I have two things that I think Joe Bell would be interested in.
Stu Bell?
Yeah, Joe Bell, I guess. Or even QAM management would probably be interested. One is, it's new, it's in good condition, O.J. Simpson jockstrap, and he even signed it there.
You got any other calls?
Yeah.
QAM, hello.
QAM.
Welcome to La Paloma. Joey Carr here for La Paloma. Dining and dancing and whining and dining and dancing and nightly entertainment.
Wow.
These guys with the phones, man, they're right. It's incredible.
Yep.
It's captivating.
Well, you got 5 calls waiting.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder if there's anybody that we ever heard from before.
Probably.
QAM, hello.
Hello.
Neil.
Yes.
How you doing?
Okay, how you doing?
I want to tell you, I was flipping channels last night, and I came across the obnoxious Lou Dobbs, and you'll never believe who he had on as a political analyst. Joey Reynolds.
Adolf Hitler.
I almost fell off the edge of the bed when I saw Joey Reynolds. I couldn't believe it.
No, come on.
I'm serious. He was on Lou Dobbs on Headline
As a political analyst?
As a political analyst. I guess he's on WOR now.
Yeah.
But I almost fell over because I didn't know Joey Reynolds really existed. So I actually saw him. How about that?
Yeah. Now, that's the bad news. Not everything in the world is good, and that's some of the bad news.
Lou Dobbs, huh?
Yeah, Lou Dobbs. Kill all those Mexicans. Kill everybody. A hateful right-wing fascist who pretends to be like, middle of the road.
And what's with the cameras that they use on him? Like, they have this frosting on him.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird.
Yeah, they use Vaseline to cover up the lens.
Oops, sorry.
Now there you go. That's the first time I've heard that in a long time.
You ready?
QAM, hello.
Hey, dude, how's it going?
Okay.
Great show. I'm your official Vanna White age corrector.
I don't know what that means.
Vanna White what corrector?
Age corrector?
Oh, yeah, we had her age wrong or something like that, and right away he, you made a mistake, and that's his claim to fame now.
Wah.
That's his label. He's the Vanna White age corrector guy.
Okay.
Not to be confused with the what did I ever do to you guy or the quarter slot guy or those guys. We got more or what?
Yeah. Go
See,
ahead.
I can't see him. I have no dots. I ain't got no nothing. Dave Johnson will be with us 11 o'clock tomorrow morning to give us the lowdown on the Belmont. No, what's her name?
No.
Rachel Alexandra. She's not running. So mind that turd. I don't know. I don't really care who wins the Belmont. Do you?
No, not really.
I'm not going to be betting on it.
Oh.
What is it?
I don't know. You got a guy on the phone.
Yeah, I know I got a guy on the phone. What is he mumbling?
I don't know. QAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Glen 61, I effed him.
What?
Well, congratulations. QAM, hello.
QAM.
Illegal in Canada.
Oh, not him again. Oh, my God. 8 months later, and they're all still out there. All the same losers.
We only got one more.
Same retards. Only one more.
Yep.
QAM, hello.
Miroslav Satan.
He just emailed me the same crap.
Really?
Yeah, he's in love with Miro Shutan.
You want to take more?
Oh, don't tell me you've got more. Let him put him on hold.
Okay.
Here's one from Rick. Tell Flea to get his Schmidt together and get rid of the Red Bull song and Elmo crap on the thing. It sucks.
Okay.
They say it sucks.
Sure, I'll take it off. I don't care.
Do whatever you want. Don't let them push you around, okay? Oh, here's a bulletin. ShamWow Vince Slomy was arrested on felony. Yeah, we know all about it. Had the story at Old News.
Yeah.
Old News with the hooker, and she bit his tongue, and blah. Old News. And President Lincoln still got a bad headache, too, okay? And he said the place sucked. God. Old News. You talk about desperate. Hawk Mark. Oh, boy, this is your buddy from across the street.
My buddy.
Maybe you'll tell us when George starts over there. So what did George say? Or you didn't talk to him. Josh Cordes did?
Yeah, Josh just said nothing new.
And what does that mean? I mean, nothing new, but does that mean that's a dead end over there or what?
He didn't really say. That's all he told me.
I know it's a dead end over here. That's for damn sure.
The coldest
for him anyway. This has been the graveyard of radio mortals and immortals. The QAM graveyard. Okay, let's see what Hawk Mark has to say. Hey, Neil and Lee. Long time no email. Not long enough. But I've really been busy the past couple of weeks. I'm glad to hear Sid listens to you so intensely to your show. Tell him Andy King hates him. Who's Andy King?
Andy King does the early morning, like 5 to 6, and he hangs out and does stuff with Sedano.
He hates Sid.
He's horrible.
It says it should unnerve him a little bit, get him really annoyed. Just repeat it a few times when his name comes up. Andy King hates you, Sid. I haven't heard anything regarding the George situation, but then again, Steve White is on vacation this week. I'll keep sniffing and let you know what's going on. P.S. Neil, you have so much money. Can you buy Calvin Burrell some teeth, please? Just kidding, says Hawk Mark.
Andy King should not be on the radio. You know who he sounds exactly like? Robert Grieper.
Oh, no.
Yep.
If I've told those people once, I've told them 9 times. Do not put people on the air who sound like Robert Grieper.
9.
The Grim Reaper, Lord of the Board. Yeah. The Kenny and Blow morning show. There was an experiment. Now, that was compelling.
Oh, God.
It compelled everybody to turn it off. Especially when Bocampers kept talking about Ethan Skolnick's smelly bowel movements. That was compelling radio. Don't you think?
Yeah, it compelled me to drive into a pole.
Yeah. That's part of that whole sports nerd thing, man. They even sniff each other's BMs. Boomer says, I remember several episodes of I Love Lucy from back in the initial year of 52, might have been 51, where they had several scenes with Ricky and Lucy in their bedroom and having one bed. I don't think so.
No, he's correct. They were actually the second show.
Remember the scene where she's knocked up and craving weird food combinations, eats chocolate ice cream with sardines and some other crap while they're in the big bed? It could have been a queen or a king size. She was really pregnant in real life, and they wrote it into the script. Little Ricky, by the way, the actor playing Little Ricky, was not Desi Arnaz Jr., but another paid actor. Boy, Desi Arnaz Jr., that kid had the most incredible eyes. I know that sounds awfully
gay,
faggy, but it's true. And it says, and Tom Jicka is still bald and stupid. The calls remain high on the suckage level, are not compelling radio. Please, OK, needs a bit more time on voice recognition for the Chronics, insofar as when to hit the ever-popular release button. Boing, boing, he writes. Yeah, boing. He's doing a fine job for what you've been given to work with, what he's been given to work with. I'm glad I got Motto Radio these last 10 years in the business, says Boomer, whoever that is.
Good guy.
I guess I'm supposed to... What?
He's a good guy.
Boomer, you know him?
Yeah, he's one of George's friends.
Oh. Lawrence says, nice experiment with the callers. Have these big guys been on hold for 7 or 8 months? Because it seems as if they haven't missed a beat. You say you're taking calls, and whammo, there they are. Joe Bell's insight into What's Good Radio strikes again. Oh, he loves my interaction with the callers, yeah. With these great callers. I mean, what's not to like? It's pretty compelling.
Neil Rogers.
God. It appears that the vacancy left by David Souter in the Supreme Court is about to be filled as President Obama is expected to come out here and tap Sonia Sotomayor. Having been tapped by George H.W. Bush in 1991, she should breeze through Congress and assume the position. Oh, wait a moment. Bill Clinton has just stepped out.
Hey, I want a chance to tap that first.
It appears he is trying to tap Sonia Sotomayor before Obama has a chance at her.
Hey, Bubba wants to be the first president to tap a Latina judge.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Now tell me that's not cool.
This would probably be the best time to cut to commercial and let the former president take the opportunity to explain the penal system to the new nominee. Yikes.
117 at 560 WQAM. So now, did Bruce Beasley give you all the answers you were looking for?
No, I haven't seen him since he walked by me.
Oh, well, probably when he heard you mention him on the air, he flew in the other direction.
He ran.
Did he? I think you should ask him if we're being compelling enough today, number one. And number two, how does he like the new Arbitron system?
I know he doesn't like it very much.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I think that's why he's here today.
Really? Maybe he can talk some sense into Jolly Fat-Ass Joe. Or is it Fat-Ass Jolly Joe? Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, this panel that they got, I don't know where they got these. They got a lot of sports nerds on there. They ought to kiss the ground for that. But other than that, they got nothing. We got zero. And we're never going to have anything in this deal because our audience is not involved in that panel that they found.
Right.
And they don't change it. That's the most damning part of the whole thing. They let about 1,500 people determine for the next 2 years who's going to have some numbers and who's not. So Paul and Ron, they can sit back and just, laugh up their sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever find the 18 to 34?
Just
men?
persons. No, I didn't have men.
Well, persons should give you a good idea. How many women are listening to Bubba the Love Sponge?
I can't imagine many.
The Love Sprocket. Well, he should have a pretty big number there if he's still doing whatever he was doing. Although, didn't he take a big drop in that last one?
Oh, yeah, he got crushed.
Took a big dump in that last one. These numbers are so bogus that there ought to be a congressional investigation is what there ought to be. I know the FCC's looking into it. And if we don't get our equipment fixed, pretty soon they're going to be looking into us. Brother and sister who say they're offspring of a priest from Foxborough, Mass., say they've sued a religious order in the Archdiocese of Baltimore for $10 million in damages for child support. Foxborough, Mass. The priest, the Reverend Francis E. Ryan, was a member of the St. Joseph Society of the Sacred Heart, an order whose headquarters are in Baltimore. The lawsuit filed by Adrian Senna, 63, and Carla Laddie, 56, is the latest chapter in a dramatic family story that's been cloaked in mystery for decades and that crosses religious and racial fault lines. Growing up in the South, Senna believed he was the second of the 3 children of Anna Maria Rhea Franklin Senna, who was black. He had heard rumors of his mother's affair with the white priest, and after his family moved from Roxbury in 1954, Senna said he observed Ryan coming from his mother's bedroom. I wonder what they were doing in there. Meanwhile, in New Jersey, Laddie was searching for her birth mother, Laddie, Carla Laddie. She had been born in 1952 and put up for adoption while Rhea Senna's 3 older children were living in an orphanage in Alabama. Are you following all this? You're writing it down? Good. In 2006, Laddie learned that Rhea Senna was her mother. Adoption records said her father was a white Irish-American man. DNA testing confirmed that she and Adrian Senna were full siblings. After a story appeared in the Boston Globe in 2006 about their quest for answers about their parentage, relatives of Ryan came forward. Laddie and Senna soon had DNA evidence that they and Ryan were related. Both Ryan and Rhea Senna are deceased. Ryan never acknowledged his paternity. Senna and Laddie assert in their suit, which seeks both compensatory and punitive damages. We're talking about compensation for things he failed to provide when he was alive, and we were young, said Senna, a filmmaker, actor, and musician who was reached by telephone at his home in British Columbia. He pursued my mother, and the order knew about it. He pursued her and evidently caught up with her. The suit was filed April 1 in Baltimore Circuit Court, according to Carmen Durso, a Boston attorney representing Senna and Laddie, and papers were served yesterday on the defendant's attorney. The Reverend Edward Schiffriller, the Josephite Superior General, declined to comment. The Josephites. I wonder what kind of garb they wear, you know? Aren't you always impressed by the schmatas that all these religious nuts wear?
Yeah.
All these cloaks. In fact, in Rome, once upon a time, I was with a friend in Rome. We were walking down, I don't know, some street, and here's a store. It couldn't have been that close to the Vatican, because I've never been that close to the Vatican, I don't think. But that's what they sold, was priestly garments. Yeah, that's all they sold, were schmatas. A spokesman for the Archdiocese said the Archdiocese is asking to be removed from the suit because Ryan was never a diocesan priest. Bada beep, bada boop, bada bop. He never stole a freight train. All the hanky-spanky all the time. And you dumb people out there, you continue subsidizing it and supporting it. I just don't get it.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. That's one thing I agree with you on. You say a lot of things are crazy, but that is crazy. Subsidizing a bunch of pedophile priests. Paying for all those lawsuits. The Dow's down 116 points. More Air France wreckage found. It says unlikely the black boxes are ever going to be found. Unless you want to swim around down there at the bottom of the Atlantic. 478 votes on the poll. What's your recreational drug of choice? Alcohol, 227. Marijuana, 116. None, 70. Other, prescription, designer, etc., 22. Cocaine, 11. Crystal meth, 7. Heroin, 7. Ecstasy, 6. Sniffing glue, 4, acid, 4, hash, 3, and huffing gas, we finally got 1. We got 1. That must be our one, maybe our one teenager.
Yep.
That got us that 1.3 share in teens. How can we do the same number in teens that we do in men 25-54? Is anybody on the planet, do the people at Arbitron believe it?
No.
Does anybody believe it?
No.
How's the phones doing?
Right now, we have one call waiting.
Oh, not good. Not good. You'd think after 8 months these people would have so much pent-up material stored up that those phones would be just blasting.
Well, once
Blow
you
the
take
phones
one,
out.
they just all start to blow up again.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah.
In other words, just like the old days, they don't want to hang on.
Right.
That's one thing you'll learn about this crap is they don't want to hang on. 567-0560 and pound 560 on the Verizon and AT&T wireless line. Let's do it. QAM, hello.
Yeah, I'm glad you talked about the priest.
Yeah, that's the Reverend Jones.
Oh, God, he's terrible.
One thing about him, he does the worst fake voices in history.
Yeah.
The worst.
You want to take another one?
Oh, don't tell me we got more.
We got 2 more waiting.
Whoa. QAM, hello.
Neil,
Yes.
how you doing?
Okay.
I want to tell you, you're better than Timex. Take a licking and keep on ticking.
Yeah, that's me.
Tell Jolly Joe Bell, he's a instead of Jack Russell, he's a Jack Rectum.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay, next call.
Go ahead.
QAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing, buddy?
Okay.
Hey, are you allowed to speak on what happened 2 weeks ago?
No.
Here?
No.
All right, never mind then. Have a good day. Hey, enjoy your show, bud.
Okay, thanks.
You got like 4 waiting if you want more.
4 waiting.
Yep.
Oh, my God, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Monkey see, monkey do. I can smell a monkey do all the way up here.
Hello?
Okay, you can punch one up. QAM, hello.
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 Ian. It's little Ian from the Jet Road Salt Band, the roadie.
Yeah, uh-huh.
How you doing?
Okay, with the phony voice again.
Yeah, that's
Reverend
enough of that.
Jones again with another bad phony voice. Really, really bad.
Yeah.
QAM, hello.
QAM.
who's this?
Who you calling?
To get on the show, please.
Who you calling?
Neil Rogers.
Okay. This is he.
This is what?
This is he. This is Neil.
Jim?
Let me say it again. This is Neil.
Hello?
Hey, you're on, man. What's up? God.
What do you mean, what's up? You're trying to make chopped liver out of chicken droppings?
Yeah, that's true.
Bozo, retardo.
Well, you got 5 more whenever you're ready.
Well, let's take the break and then build up some courage for it.
Oh, Neil? God?
I've been a little paranoid lately about this whole swine flu thing. The news reporting more cases and the illness it brings. And each time they talk, they say the germs they can cling. So I go scrubbing and rinsing when I run to the sink. My honey, my baby, you don't want virus on yourself. I think you'll probably be fine. Just wash your hands for your health. Wash your hands, baby. Scrub them good. Keep them clean. Ooh, baby, 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 this swine flu won't go away. I hear there's many more people being infected each day. Well, I'll make sure that I'm hygienic. None of the germs I'll allow. In fact, I'd rather be alive than be dead anyhow. My honey, my baby, you don't want virus on yourself. I think you'll probably be fine. Just wash your hands for your health.
All right. Well, now these numbers, are these men or these persons you just sent me?
This is persons. That's all I have right now.
Bubba the Love Sponge, according to the latest fictitious stuff from Beltsville, Maryland, persons 18 to 34, he's got a 3.4 share and ranks number 10. Paul and Ron, an 8.3 share, ranked number 3.
Right. Syphilis, a 0.1 share.
0.1?
Yep.
I think we got a 0.2 in persons 25 or 18 to 34.
We crush him.
Huh?
We
doubled your audience, Miss Syphilis. 18 to 34. Well, most 18 to 34 aren't Nazis. Don't listen to 610.
Right.
They aren't Nazi youth. God, that is... These numbers are just all over the place, you know? What's the point? That's my question. Why would anybody pay these grave robbers for this? You could take a 10-gallon hat and put a bunch of numbers and the call letters of all the stations in there and yank them out and probably be more scientific than what they're doing. Oh, but the panel this and the panel... Yeah, screw the panel. The Dow's down 122. And let me say it again. It's going to be real interesting to see those nighttime numbers, because that number, like you said, it could be the NBA games. But I doubt it.
Well, let's see. Persons 18 to 34 at night, we had a 1.5 share.
Oh, that crushes us.
Yep.
Of course, everything crushes us. And anything to do with sports on this station crushes us. Which it's interesting, for the last 11 and a half years, it was just the other way around.
Right. As a matter of fact, it's the second highest rated day part for us with that 1.5.
All right. All right. Must be DA. So you just wait till we catch up with that week when we weren't here for 3 days and DA was on with a variety of goofballs.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till that kicks in. Wait till they get about a 9 share that week. Oh, brother. I mean, wait till they get about a 9 share. Robert Reaper, the Grim Reaper, the Lord of the Board. I would sit in here and listen to that swill and just want to scream.
Yeah.
I mean, Kenny Walker may be the nicest guy in the world. I never met him. I don't know. I know he did the PA at the Dolphin games once upon a time.
Still does, I think.
He still do?
Yeah.
Oh. But, wow. If there was one thing he was not cut out for, was that Kenny and Blow morning show. That was not compelling radio.
No,
it compelled me to just go nuts.
It was terrible.
Especially when I'd have to hear about Ethan Skolnick's bowel movements. Those were the days when they had all the sports writers. It was like a cluster schmuck. Wow.
And you've got 6 calls holding.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's punch one up. I bet they're going to be great. QAM, hello. Okay.
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 We both hit.
Yeah, exactly. Mine must have worked.
Yeah, I think it did. I think they both worked.
No. Yeah, guess what? Our dump buttons work now, okay, so you're wasting your time.
Oh!
Yeah, let's hear it. They work. Only took 2.5 weeks, but wow, they work. Man, what a technical disaster. QAM, hello.
QAM.
Yeah, Mark on a mobile. Neil mentioned a guy yesterday on the air with the music thing, a guy named J. Frank Wilson.
Mm-hmm, Last Kiss.
Last Kiss.
Yeah.
And I want to know if you can look up his book, because somebody told me that J. Frank Wilson is actually Wayne Cochran. Guy who lived down here in Miami, had a big band back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
So I just want to know if you can verify if that's true.
I'll Google it. I'll Google it for you, okay?
Pardon me?
I'll Google it for you. I'll let you know in a minute.
Okay, thanks. So hold on.
Okay. No, don't hold on. Just listen to the radio.
Yeah.
Or hold on if you want to, but he never knew he was talking to me. You talking to me? Okay, J. Frank Wilson. Oh, where did my baby go? Let's see, Wikipedia. Lead vocalist, Frank Wilson and the Cavaliers. Born in Lufkin, Texas. Yada, yada, yada. He did this, he did that, yada, yada, yada. Last Kiss was written by Wayne Cochran, who had based the song on a car accident in Barnesville, Georgia, where he had lived. The song was originally produced by Wayne Cochran and the CC Riders with little success. How do you like that?
Wow.
So he had the connection there. In fact, I'm thinking back in the day, I think Craig Worthing used to have Wayne Cochran as a guest all the time. Back in the old KAT days. See what you missed?
Yeah.
And Holy Joe. And Ernie Sochin and the Biorhythms. And Henry Rothblatt. Doctor! Doctor! Now, you talk about compelling. He's been dead a long time, but...
Oh.
The great criminal attorney, Henry Rothblatt. He was one of my favorite guests. And, boy, he hated the medical profession. And he died because he had a big tumor on his wrist. And he wouldn't seek medical treatment. And he died from cancer. Isn't that kind of strange? Yeah. One night I had him on my show, and I didn't want to say anything. It's awkward. What's that big black thing growing on your wrist? You know, Henry?
Right.
Doctor! Doctor! And he was right about the butchers in the medical profession and the hospitals and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Doctor! Great guest. That was back in the days of guests. Now, you want to start booking some really compelling guests, like maybe...
Dave Johnson?
No, Dave Johnson's tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm talking about for future shows. Like maybe, what's his name? I'm trying to think of a compelling guest.
Rick Sanchez?
Rick Sanchez would be not compelling. That would be a good compelling or not compelling. That's like gay or not gay on the Kenny and Blow morning show. The square table. Your buddy Toast brought that over there from across the street, I understand.
That's true.
He was partially responsible for the demise of for the disaster that show was. Toast. Now, where is he? Is he across the street?
He's with Paul and Ron.
Oh, my God. No wonder they got that big number. Not. Toast is on with Paul and Ron. If he can do for them what he did for Kenny and Blow, they'll have a something pretty soon. I mean, doesn't that tell you right out of the box how bogus these numbers are when you see them with like 10 and shares and 13 and whatever? What was it, 12.5, that one? 12.5 share. That's one out of every 8 men in the morning is listening to Paul and old Ron.
Right.
Recycle old material. A lot of it mine, a lot of it Phil's. Anybody else's but theirs. Paul giving the Toronto weather based on what I said the day before. It's murky, by the way, Paul. It's not too although it's supposed to be toasty starting tomorrow through the weekend. Thank God. It's about time. It's been cold and nasty and windy. 17. It's 63 here right now. It's going to reach 19. 66. Sunny and 66 tomorrow. Sunny and 73 on Friday, and Saturday sunny and 22. There's the Toronto weather forecaster, Nova. Be sure and use it with care tomorrow. How do people get away with that? Stealing other people's material and then do it blatantly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Brazenly. A brazen display of speed, as Tom Durkin would say. But I hope he doesn't mess up the call on the Belmont like he did in the Derby. Keep your eye on Mind That Bird. I don't know if I want him to win or not. I just don't want to see Calvin Borel whooping and whipping and screaming like a crazy person, after the race.
Right.
He puts on, I mean, it's one thing to get excited, obviously. They're big races and a lot of money and stuff. But I just don't want to see that routine repeated a third time. Oh, God. Oh, and Mom and Dad, I wish they could be here to see it. And he's looking up in the sky, What are these people looking up for in the sky, like all these athletes? Guy scores a touchdown, he's looking up in the sky, and he's pointing to the sky,
Right.
Which means maybe a pigeon just hit him on the head. I don't know. Pointing at the sky. Maybe he's talking to the spirit in the sky. Yeah, that's going around these days. Norman Greenbaum is compelling a lot of people to point to the sky.
See, he was on to something.
Yeah, he was on something, all right. And those people that voted for him as being the best one-hit wonder of all time, they must have been on something, too. And I bet you it's on our list. Probably they've been huffing gas. We got 2 now huffing gas.
All right.
They're probably competing at your neighborhood Shell station. Thanks, Mr. President, by the way, for consorting with those Saudi bastards over there and sucking up to them. I don't know. I like him personally, but as president, he just so far has left me a little limp. You know what I mean? I like him a lot, but I'm unconvinced yet. 500 votes on the poll. Not too shabby. I'm pretty impressed, aren't you? That's a brand new poll. Went up there early this morning, I believe.
Yeah.
And we got 500 votes. According to the people in Beltsville, Maryland, that's 4 times as many as we have listening.
You're listening to Neil Rogers.
Neil Rogers, guys.
The following announcement is paid for by Adidas, Nike, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Hanes Underwear.
Yo, what's up? This is LeBron James. Give me a little love.
Yeah.
Come on, boy.
Yeah.
I'm a basketball phenom out of Akron, Ohio.
Yeah, man.
Home of Firestone tires for your car, truck, or SUV. Can I get a little bit of love on the Firestone tires, my brother? Now, the Ohio State Athletic Association has suspended me for the rest of the season.
Oh, man!
I know, right? And declared me unintelligible or something because I accepted 2 old school sports jerseys.
Oh, come on!
You know what? I don't understand what the hell I done wrong. Unlike most people, I got lots of birthdays during the calendar year.
Happy birthday,
Yeah, that's right. You know what? People like to give me things like this here Pepsi Twist. A twist on a great thing. Right. Anyway, drink Pepsi. Right. I'm just a normal 18-year-old high school student who just happens to drive a $50,000 Hummer. Wears a diamond earring the size of a small child's head. That's right, look at that thing. K Jewelers, because every kiss begins with K. Bling, bling, baby. Right? I don't get the whole big thing, chicken wing. I may still go to college. I got some of the offers right here. Check this one. An unnamed school that's nestled in the Bluegrass area.
I got that.
Offers a penthouse apartment,
Right.
a penthouse pet,
Right.
and a lifetime subscription to Penthouse Magazine. I see they're offering like a theme package deal. Here's another institution in the heart of the Chapel Hill area, which will go unnamed. Says they'd be honored to have me. They have boxed up and sent to me a naked Russian woman direct from Russia, which I keep for my own, boy, right? I haven't unpacked it yet, but she's knocking and screaming and whatnot. I have my boy Tyrell here puts it in the garage with my box of Cougarans from an unnamed university closely associated with a Wolverine.
Man, that's a heavy box, man. That's a heavy box.
That garage is spilling over. Anyway, I got to get back to class now with my boys. No, we gotta go. I already missed like 3 months so far. Oh, snap! I just spilled my Pepsi Twist on my new Hugo Boss suit. Look at this, I got a little McDonald's special sauce on there. Oh, by the way, come on and party with a Big Mac, where for a limited time you visit one participating McDonald's and buy a Big Mac, you get another one for 35 cents.
35 cents! It's your birthday! It's your birthday! It's your birthday!
Yeah. Peace out.
The proceeding has been paid for by Foot Locker, an unnamed university in the Nutmeg State, and Def Comedy Jam.
147 at 560. If it was good enough to start the show with, it's good enough to almost end it. It's old, by the way. That's an oldie. About LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
If it's Hebron, then why isn't it LeBron?
I don't know.
Maybe all these guys are pronouncing his name wrong all this time. Maybe it's LeBron. Huh, Lebby?
Sure.
Or Libby. Scooter Lebby. If Joe Rose misses a day anytime soon, we're going to start the rumor that he eloped with Lebby. Can you tell me what the obsession is with these dumb basketball players? What is that all about? Kobe and Lebby and this one and that one. And then, of course, don't forget about and the icy sleeve. Do you ever wear the icy sleeve?
Never.
Well, that's your problem. You'd probably be making big bucks producing this show if you ever came in with the icy sleeve on. Then they would fear you.
I'll wear one tomorrow.
Guaranteed. The fake Michael Phelps has got a great idea for a compelling guest. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
It says you should have Stormcat on the show. You better book him now. He's a very busy and important man. Stormy. He can give us the lowdown on LeBron, Hebron. Stormy. What do you think?
Okay.
I think he'd be great.
Absolutely.
On somebody else's show. He already is just the same as a guest. See, I don't know about you, but I'm just not one that's really big. This goes way, way back to my early days doing talk on KAT 100 years ago. I was never big on chronic regular callers. I always thought that they were just a kiss of death. Your take?
Your
Your
don't really have
thoughts?
one. I don't have any on that.
You have any opinion on that?
Nah. I mean, if the guest is good, the guest is good. If not, then they're not.
No, I didn't say guest. I said chronic callers.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have a lot of those.
I'm not big on those.
No, me neither.
Oh, boy. Back in those days. In fact, back in the day when we used to have like 4 talk stations, WNWS, WINZ, WGBS, and WIOD. 4 talk stations. Can you imagine that? And none of them were talking about sports all day. IOD had its sports talk for 2 hours, and that was it. And WNWS, we didn't have any sports talk, except I think on the weekend. We had some ball games and stuff.
How did you guys survive?
I don't know. A major miracle, major mystery, I guess. How did we survive without sports talk? Good question. And boy, were there you could listen to the radio and turn from one station to another and hear the same caller like 2 minutes later on another station. And what we also used to get was, oh my gosh, do you hear what so-and-so just said about you on the Larry Kent show? And like that, you know.
Right.
Radio yentas. Chronic radio yentas. So that's just my take. I think chronic regular call. I mean, if they're that good, give them their own show, you know. If they're that compelling.
Stormy at night.
Stormy at night. Placid in the day and stormy at night. Or like Lowell Shoemaker, the old turkey buzzer, said in Sarasota, Peter in the morning and fever all night. Peter Johns. I couldn't believe he said it, but he did. When I scraped myself off the floor, there have been those moments, those radio moments over the years, when you start laughing so hard and you just lose it, you know?
Right.
I remember the one time Peter Clayton, the late restaurant critic, was on with Bill Calder. And he brought in a can of something that looked suspiciously like dog turds. And he took out a spoon, he opened the can, and he began eating them on the air.
Ugh.
Very delicately. I mean, this was a guy who put on the air of, you know, like Dick Fatherly, that same kind of, you know, my stuff don't stink. Restaurant critic, you know, the type.
Yeah.
And he's eating looked like dog turds, you know. I mean, I started laughing so hard, I had to prop myself against the wall, and I definitely peed my pants. I mean, I don't recall for sure.
It's contagious, too, when you're listening to it on the radio and you hear people laughing, you kind of laugh along with them.
Yeah, like the Bob and Tom bits.
Yeah.
Now, there's some people who think that that's over the top. I think it enhances the funniness of the bit. Of course, most of the really good bits we can't play anymore, but nevertheless. I like Bob and Tom a lot, especially back when they were funny, when they could do their thing. They're another couple of guys who, you know, have been around for a long time, and they've been deballed thanks to Janet Jackson and Justin Tinkerbell, and they don't even have Joyce to contend with. Now, let me ask you, how's Bubba doing with the Joyce factor on the West Coast?
That's a good question. I have no idea. But his show is a lot more blue than yours, that's for sure.
Yeah, it blows.
Well,
it blew. Love is Blue by Paul Moriarty. There's one we missed yesterday. Let's go back and reopen that again.
Okay.
One hit wonders. Paul Moriarty. Da-da. Maybe it was on there. I don't know. There were so many songs on there. Every song that was ever done.
And you know, in Fort Myers, they might be doing what they did here with Howard Stern, just dumping it and playing the music. And it was terrible. Don't even put it on.
Huh?
Then don't even put it on. If you're going to dump it the way they were dumping Howard Stern down here.
The Stern thing was ridiculous. I mean, they poked enough holes in that to make his show like a piece of Swiss cheese.
Right. It was bad.
And he still got a big number, and I had a bigger number following him. How do you like that? Because there weren't a bunch of sports nerds listening to Howard. But it's just, mix and match, and we don't mix and we don't match.
It's Dave in Miami town.
Absolutely.
At 560 WQAM. Take your coat and shove it. I ain't gonna worship him no more.
Neil, God.
I've had enough of all the primitive fairy tales and folklore. I'm getting tired of giving money away to all the Christian corporate whores. You can take your coat and shove it. I ain't worshiping
Christian, soldier of God, believer all these years. All that time I followed every word of the scriptures written by queers. Get your keys, say he's a powerful God and an all-knowing in a mighty way. Except in 9/11 when he must have been gone on a bus friend's holiday. Take your God and shove it. I ain't gonna worship him no more. Shove the year alright if you're with us, 'cause everybody else is wrong. And I'm getting tired of watching people die in the name of an invisible Lord. Alright. So take your God and shove it. Yes. I ain't worshiping him no more. Take your God and shove it. Oh. I ain't worshiping him no more. Pontiac, we're going out of business. Bye, bye, bye.